Now we're going to start with where we started last time was we started with the fixtures. We started whereby the next 5 fixtures, we're going to come back after United have played the next 5, which was the PSG game, the RB Leipzig game, the Chelsea game, the Arsenal game, and we're going to take off those games one by one, and we're going to hit them. Hold on, let me share my screen with you quickly.
Watching public will be looking on thinking, if Giroud was there, would he have made better of it?
Martial, come on, man. Damn.
He had to finish that.
Man, that was close.
Are we discussing Martial
close.
as well? Tim.
Oh,
Tim,
man,
are we discussing Martial
Martial.
tonight?
We could discuss Martial.
I think we should. I think we should.
Yeah, that should be a goal,
We should,
man.
yeah.
That
I think we
be a
should.
goal.
That should be a goal.
I think we should discuss
That should be a
Martial as
goal.
well. He's another one that's up for debate.
Okay.
I mean, wait, don't get me started on that one too, man. Martial's my guy too, so please be easy on Martial, man.
Nah,
That's my guy. That's my guy.
Ben's in the
nah,
French
man,
connection.
nah.
Okay, guys. Okay, hold on. When we discussed last time, our last UK-US chat, we talked about our fixtures. So we're going to continue from where we stopped. So we're going to start with the game against, some people said United had no chance against PSG. But as we saw, we now defeated PSG. So we're going to talk about the PSG game quickly. We're not going to stay too long on it. What your thoughts were on that game and what were your expectations of that game? We're going to start with Dr. J, the Man United PSG game. What was your prediction prior in our last meeting?
To be honest, I wasn't surprised we won. I wasn't surprised we won because if you noticed, after we lost against Tottenham, I think we beat Newcastle 4-1 away.
Yes.
And the team tends to perform when they really have really bad results. It's a pattern with this team. So the PSG game, I wasn't surprised we won, to be honest. And we played really well in that game. We played really well. We really surprised everybody. I don't think Mbappe was pocketed. What's your man's name? Was it Fred? Was it Fred who?
Fred.
Yeah, it was Fred, wasn't it?
Yes. And
yeah, so exactly. Tuanzebe, sorry, Tuanzebe. I was thinking of it. We played well in that game, so I wasn't surprised. Team, we did really well. Okay. I expected us to win. And as I said, it's like a pattern. You see, after we lost against Tottenham 6-1, we beat Newcastle away 4-1. We beat PSG. We had the momentum, and then I think we had a blip against Chelsea. I didn't like that game. That was flat.
Okay.
So, but I wasn't surprised we won against PSG.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. J. Let me go to Houston Red Army. Sammy, the Man United PSG, what was your prediction prior to that game in our last meeting?
I think my prediction was that we would basically manage a draw with PSG. So I was a little surprised, to be honest with you, with the result. But there are a couple of reasons why we basically were able to pull it off at that time. First of all, obviously, there's a master stroke that Ole did is not having Maguire in the starting lineup. Okay, he started with Tuanzebe instead of Maguire. He changed the formation from our 4-3-1 formation to 3-4-1-2, and he put Tuanzebe, Lindelof, and Luke Shaw in the defense lineup, and he put Alexis Telles, who actually had a tremendous game in the first, as the first United game on that day. So Tuanzebe and Telles really made a huge mark. The change of formation, not having Maguire in the defensive lineup because you are going against two world famous strikers, most fast striker like Mbappe and Neymar. So that's a really good good strategy from Ole's end, and that kind of helped us to rebuild our defensive lineup. And we never expected that. I mean, I was surprised with the way Tuanzebe played. I never expected that our defense would be such solid against Mbappe and Neymar. So this actually somehow kind of added to that, our performance. And on top of that, obviously, we need to give a credit to individual brilliance from Rashford. He couldn't have scored from that position in the second half. Maybe that game would be ended as a draw. So that would be I was expecting that we'd maybe get a draw from that game. but it is because of Rashford's that individual brilliance that got us the second goal and we have able to go on the game. But again, at the end it was like a totally extreme, and I was a little bit surprised, but it was not something I would consider as a miracle that happened back in 2019 when we beat them over there back in January 2019. So it was not a miracle, but I was a little surprised with the way Tuanzebe and Alex performed on that day.
Okay, thank you. Vimal, what was your take on the Man United PSG game?
Yeah, I can hear someone's football stream playing in the background.
Can someone please mute the headsets, please? Thank you.
You can mute everybody as host. You can mute everybody.
I think we can probably mute ourselves.
Yes, but
yeah.
Tim, go ahead and handle that.
When you talked about the Man United PSG game, what were your expectations for that match?
For me, to be honest, with the results we've been having, I thought we were going to lose it, honestly. Solskjaer's just been too inconsistent for me. He flukes a win, it appears sometimes, and then he just, his formation just falls apart. His team selection's all over the place. You just can't see a style. You can't see, what he's trying to put together, because he's chopping and changing so much that you don't even see that first 11 all the time. You can't see it. With Ferguson, you see that team selection. You know what it's going to be. We've got that formation sorted out. We were a tight ship. But with Oli, I don't see it. So I really thought we were going to lose. Okay. But for me, the difference was Tuanzebe and Basaka. They contain PSG's most dangerous players.
Yes, a lot.
And that allowed us to soak up a lot of pressure, because PSG like to go forward as a unit. Once we take possession of them and they're all up forward, we counter-attack fast. And luckily Rashford was in form, so he scored. So, I don't know if that was planned, but it worked on that particular occasion. Okay.
Thank you, Vimal.
So, yeah.
Marcel, Houston Red Diamonds, you joined us, Marcel, in the house. Thank you very much, Marcel. Shegun, Man United, PSG, what was your take? Quickly tell me what your take was in a minute, please.
Well, I thought we were tactically disciplined in the game. All the players stuck to their task, which was very impressive. And I thought we were deserved winners of the game. That's my take.
Okay.
One quick thing. I think Rashford needs to improve on his finishing. He had a lot of chances. Altogether, I think he had about 6 or so scoring chances. He needs to, because you won't be getting as many chances as that in the Champions League game. So you need to put away your chances when you get them. Right. So he needs to improve on his finishing.
Right. All right. Thank you very much, Agu. Bems, Man United PSG, what was your take quickly?
I mean, I think it was a good game. It was a good tactical game. We set up as I think it was a 5-3-2 formation. I was always expecting us to be a 5-3-2 against PSG. That's what Ole does against the big teams. That's what he used against PSG back in March of last year, wasn't it, when we beat PSG away? But man, it was a good tactical performance again. But it's the typical Ole tactics is counterattack. That's the only thing we really know how to do under Ole. We can't break teams down. Yeah, obviously we deserve to win the game because PSG, they were pretty much we took good care of Neymar and Mbappe. And so and I think after that they didn't really have anyone else that could threaten us. If it wasn't for the own goal that Martial put in, they didn't score any goals. There was nothing.
Okay.
So I think it just played well into our hands. And I'll say Maguire, I think Ole was just lucky with that Maguire thing, because I guarantee if Maguire was fit, he would have played Maguire. Right. He just got lucky that he played Tuanzebe, and Tuanzebe played very well. Telles played well, and also Luke Shaw played well on playing that left center back position too. So it just worked out well, man. It worked out well. The typical counterattack just defend, and just hit them on the break is pretty much what we did. Yeah, it worked okay. So my big question is always been us having Ole having the tactics to be able to break teams down when teams sit against us. Right. Just sit down behind the ball. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ben. Joe, Man United PSG, what was your take quickly?
Oh, it's a pretty good game. Yes, like most, I wasn't very confident about us going into the game, but it seems like we were able to just completely shut down the way they played. So you got to give the strategy and our tactics all the credit for that, because we were able to shut down their ability to pass the ball in the final third. It resulted to isolation passes to Mbappe and Neymar, and I of course, I don't think Ole knew that Tuanzebe was going to play out of his fucking mind, even considering that was I believe that was his first game in how long? So
months.
Yeah, that was insane. So the team is definitely up for it. Yeah, Tuanzebe was key to that game.
His tackles were amazing.
Amazing. He's
amazing.
I mean, at this point now, Eric Bailly has to be looking at the way Tuanzebe is playing. He's got everything we want out of Bailly. He's got
injured. Exactly.
Yeah,
I think Tuanzebe will become a better center back than Bailly. I agree.
Exactly.
If he can stay healthy, if he can stay healthy, that'd be great. But yeah, it was good overall game by the team.
Marcel, Man United, PSG, what was your take quickly?
I'm not going to waste a lot of time on this. We all saw what happened in that game, okay? There's no reason in rehashing something. They performed a defensive masterclass against one of the best teams in Europe, period. I don't need to say nothing else. That's it.
Okay. Are you still with us? I think he's okay. All right, let's move on to our next game. Our next game, after that fantastic...
Sorry, were you talking to me, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, about the game, the PSG game.
What was your take on the game, mate?
Yeah, we've just echoed more or less the same thoughts. I think, well, to start off with, I don't think anyone in this call expected Man United to go out there and win. I think if you're saying that you expected United to go out there and win, then you're probably in another planet. But it's one of those things, like we've mentioned in the call, where when his back's against the wall, where we Ollie seems to always pull a rabbit out of the hat. Everton's is a good example where you think, okay, we're going to lose that game, and then he wins it. So yeah, it was great performances. I mean, there were a lot of names that that deserve mentioning, such as Tuanzebe. Who else?
Wan-Bissaka.
The defense was solid. Someone was saying on the call that Ollie got lucky. I think Ollie played it well, actually. I think Maguire was actually fit. Don't forget, he actually got sent off against, for England. I think he was going through a lot at the time, and Ollie just thought, you know what, I'm just going to leave him out and just say he's injured. So Ollie said he was injured. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Ollie actually lies a lot. He tells a lot of lies. I think Maguire was fit, but he just didn't want to play him, and it worked out in the end. So he just gave him a one game, break. But yeah, it was a good performance, and it's one of those games, really.
Right. Thank you very much, Kay.
I just want to pose one question, quick question though. Do you think it really was Ole, or did the players just rise to a challenge because it was Champions League and PSG?
Being that in the first Champions League game, I thought they knew they had to make an impact in a group that looked a bit very difficult. You had PSG, you had RB Leipzig, you had Istanbul. So I thought United mentally knew they couldn't go. I think the players knew they would go there, probably get a draw. Getting a win, they played hard, they defended deep, but I think they made sure they were not going to go lose the first game. I think it would have already.
Yeah,
that's right.
Also, one more thing, if you went back to our previous game against PSG back in 2019, when we actually had a very mediocre team, more young team, they're able to pull it off. We actually beat them 3-1, and thanks to Rashford's penalty, which helped us to go to the next round. So I guess back of their mind, it was there that we beat them back in 2019 with more of a deflated squad. So why can't we do that? Maybe it was more of like a mindset, and I guess players were more motivated to win the game against PSG this time.
Okay.
And I think it's because of that game.
All right. Our next game, our first opening game in the Champions League was PSG. We got that, knocked it out. A fantastic performance, overall good team performance. Our next game was back in the EPL, and it was a home game to Chelsea. Considering United already lost 2 previous home games to Spurs and Palace, United had an opportunity to beat Chelsea, who was still struggling defensively. They still did not win the game. It ended 0-0. I'll start with Marcel. Man United, Chelsea. What went wrong in that day?
Asking me what went wrong.
Yeah, Man United, Chelsea, 0-0.
It wasn't what went wrong. It was that Mendy went right. Chelsea finally found a first-class goalkeeper because Marcus had 3 great shots on goal and he blocked them all. It wasn't anything that we did from an offensive standpoint that went quote-unquote wrong. It's just that Mendy was that day. And as we can tell, that's been proven because he's been one of the most effective goalkeepers in the league since he started. So I'm not going to say that we did anything wrong. I'm just going to say Mendy had the game of his life that day. He gave them 2 points. Because any other keeper, we would have beat them. But
Marcel, may I say something quickly? So you don't think there was anything wrong with United's approach to the game? Do you think we approached the game with the right attitude?
I think that we were a little bit too cautious sometimes and didn't take full advantage of them on the counterattack. But when we actually did get in attack, I didn't see anything wrong with how we got in attack, how we were trying to actually get at them. When we did it, it wasn't enough though. But we did take the chances that we did take. Right. So I'm not going to say that we didn't take our chances. We didn't shoot way over the bar. We weren't trying to get back in transition on them. We played it real safe because of our defense. But in the times that we actually got our opportunities, we actually did try to get at them. Okay. And sadly, Mendy was just up for it.
Yeah, he was on form. Let me move to Dr. J. Man United 0, Chelsea 0. What was your take on that game quickly?
I think the performance, I didn't like the game, to be honest, because both teams were just too cautious. I think United played 4-2-3-1, and we had 14 shots in that match with 4 on target. And Chelsea had just 6 shots with 1 shot on target. I think both teams were a bit too cautious in the game, and I did not really enjoy that game, to be honest with you.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. J. I'll go to Sammy quickly. Sammy, Man United 0, Chelsea 0. What was your take on that game?
Okay, I'm going to partially agree with my friend Marcel on that. Obviously, Chelsea's goalie, Mendy, he was in a tremendous form on that day. I mean, nobody could beat him on that day, the way he played. Okay, he blocked so many shots, couple of Rashford shots, should have easily gone in the other day. But again, it's not about only Chelsea's goalie came up with a heroic performance. It's also about we tactically lost that game, okay? Why on earth, after that performance against PSG, always thought about starting with James and Juan Mata, okay? So James, obviously we knew that, Chelsea's gonna do the park the boss logic, okay? They're playing an average game, they'll go start with defensive. Then you're actually starting with James, who doesn't have any ability to dribble plus any defenders other than just running through the middle, without having any proper direction. And also Juan Mata was, okay, he's fit for top games, but you can't start Juan Mata for a Premier League game. That's not a way. It's not going to happen. So obviously we made a few blunders. He went back to that 4-2-3-1 formation, but I couldn't believe that we should have started with Juan Mata and James. Maybe things would have been different. So I think these two, obviously Chelsea goalie's heroic performance plus our tactical flaws cost us the game. And it would be really good if we had a win from that game. We would have kept the momentum going, but we just blew it, like the way we've been doing it for last 1 year. Okay. We always have we had a good game, then after that we lost in the next one.
Right. Okay. Vimal, step in here. Man United, Chelsea. What was your take on that game?
I have to say that was a bit of a dull game. Our ball retention was poor. We couldn't keep passes or going for long enough. We kept giving the ball away. We looked a little bit clueless, and I think we just kept giving the ball to Chelsea, and we were inviting them to come and score. And the very few chances we had, yes, Mendy was brilliant, but I just think our ball retention was really bad. So it was a dull game for me.
Okay. Joe, Man United 0, Chelsea 0. What was your take, bro?
Yes, I'm just going to reiterate what a lot of other people said. Yes, it was a dull game. It doesn't seem like both managers wanted to lose the game. I think more so for Chelsea, they played way further back than we did. That said, any other game with a keeper that was just a little bit less informed that day, and it would have been an easy 1-0 win. And but it's unfortunate. Both teams defensively, a lot of times when we see games like that, we call it dull. They could be just really good games that were just both teams defensively were just very good at. So, that's just, if you're a defensive-minded person and you see, those kind of plays being made, I think both teams were very disciplined defensively that game. Yes, that made it dull, but yeah, that's it.
Okay. Maybe we were too cautious.
Yes, I think.
I would say that. Yes,
which we shouldn't be,
with the lineup.
On that game we are still at 12th position. We should have had more urge to win the game rather than being defensive.
Agree.
Especially after that performance against PSG.
Exactly. Let me bring Bams into this. Man United 0, Chelsea 0. What was your take, bro?
Ole set up that game for a draw, man. It was simple. It was a clear. It's a clear. He didn't play that game to win that game. Neither did Lampard. If you look at Lampard against Ole has won. What is it? I think it's 3-1.
4-1.
3-1. Yeah. Okay, 4-1. So, and again, of course, Lampard's not going to want that to repeat itself. So he went and played 5 at the back. So that that told you a lot. Lampard plays 5 at the back. Ole changes the formation. He puts McTominay and Fred in the midfield. Those 2 midfielders are guys that he goes to when he wants to secure the game. He just wants to play it safe. He plays Mata. He plays James. James, for the life of me, he doesn't offer anything attacking. He's just a threat just by speed. And so, yeah, but the way Ole set up that team, he set up that team for a draw. We did not go there to win at all. Lampard didn't go there to win. Didn't come to us to win either. So, and if you ask me, I think that was a must win. Looking at the position that we were at on the table,
right?
Even though we still have that game in hand, but that game, if we won that game, that would have given us momentum to go into the next game against Arsenal, and then we could possibly even be talking about a challenging situation against the top team, against the teams in first, second, and third.
Right.
But we didn't win the game because he set us up to draw. He didn't want to win that game, and I wasn't happy about that, to be honest with you. Right. I think we could have got at Chelsea, and again, we let them come at us because that's what Ole does. He wants teams to come at us so we can break on the counter and score goals. That's the main tactic that Ole does. So yeah, it's simple. Yeah, he pretty much set us up for a draw.
All right, thank you, Ben. Okay, drop in there. Man United 0, Chelsea 0.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with all the points that have been raised. I know Jude wasn't happy on the call on the WhatsApp group. He wanted to win, and I guess that's the right. That's what we all wanted. But however, I have to agree with Ole's. I can see why Ole did what he did, especially getting embarrassed 6-1 at home to Tottenham in the previous home game. You can see why he was a bit cautious, to avoid another embarrassment. So, yeah, it's a game that we'd all like to win, but again, I see why Ole was very cautious in that game. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Kay. Mr. Shegun, can you come in there? Man United 0, Chelsea 0.
Well, I thought it was a boring game. I mean, just like everybody has said, I thought it was a boring game, and I thought the game was there to be won by us if we had approached the game the right way. The way Ole set that the team up that day, it was obvious he didn't want to lose. So, and I mean, Chelsea played away, so it was understandable that they sat back. And at that particular moment, Chelsea didn't have a regular 11. They were still changing and chopping their team. If you remember,
we taking a run at that defense, but we didn't.
Exactly. So it was an opportunity to get 3 points off Chelsea, but we missed the opportunity because of our approach and because of the way. I wasn't too impressed with the starting 11. Just like someone said, I thought James had no business starting the game. James shouldn't have started. That was actually a good opportunity to start Van der Beek because we wanted to win, or we should have set out to win the game. So an attacking player like Van der Beek might have been helpful, who would also help out in defense. But I wasn't too impressed. I wasn't too impressed with the game.
All right, thank you, Shegun. Our next game, which was game 2 in the Champions League, a game everyone thought we were probably going to lose, but we ended up doing some damage. RB Leipzig, Man United. Joseph, Houston Red Army, talk me through Man United 5, RB Leipzig 0.
Oh, that was just an amazing game. Just, yeah, of course, nobody saw that happening, especially with some of our defensive form early in the season. But it was another game where Ole got it spot on. I think that was the one time where like the diamond clicked and it worked. So I see in the future, if they can perfect it in the Prem, that's fine. But RB Leipzig again, also we completely played them out the park. And Ole, I can't complain about that game at all.
Okay. Vimal, Man United 5, RB Leipzig 0.
Yeah, brilliant result. RB Leipzig, their players, there's no one that really stands out. All their great players they've sold off, and for them, the real star in that show is the manager. And you know, I think he's. I know I should be talking about Man United, but I've got to say this about this. What's his name? Julian Nagelsmann.
Yeah.
I've been reading about this guy. Apparently, he's probably the hottest property in terms of German managers available now. He's probably the best German manager available. And he reminds me of what Ferguson used to do. He would bring out 100% from all of his players. He's got an average squad to overperform. So, you know, generally they do quite well, but we unlock something, probably our diamond formation. But I don't think it was a brilliant team. Yeah. Okay. So it was a fantastic window.
All right. Thank you very much.
But my analysis is about the other team, actually. I think they're an average team with a fantastic manager.
Right. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, Vimal. Dr. J, Man United 5, RB Leipzig 0. What was your take on that game?
One of our best games, to be honest with you. And I think the formation only played is what we should stick to. So we played a 4-1-2-1-2 with Matic in front of the back four, Fred on the right, Pogba on the left, and Van der Beek in front of both of them. That worked perfectly. We edged the first half with Greenwood's goal, and then Rashford came on and scored a hat-trick in 16 minutes. What a game. That was some game. We really performed, you know, and it was a statement of intent, you know. But after that game again, I think we lost the momentum again. Was it Arsenal?
Yeah.
Yep. Went back to our old ways.
Right afterwards, yeah.
That was our best formation, and that's the best the Diamond has worked. 4-1-2-1-2. Brilliant game, I have to say.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. J. Marcel, Man United 5, RB Leipzig 0. Your take?
We'll go to Croatia and France go home and prepare to welcome Sweden.
Listen, Man United plays 2 different ways. One, when Anthony Martial and Marcus Rashford can both be on the pitch, they play one way. When either one or both of them are missing, we play a completely different way. This team was evident that when you have Rashford and Martial out, a lot of teams cannot handle.
Lots of competitive games at all levels throughout the groups. The prize at the end.
What?
Somebody's game is on.
Somebody should mute.
Somebody's game is on. Hey, yo, Tim. Hey, Tim,
Yeah.
take care of that. I need you. Come on, Tim.
Bro.
You can mute everybody, Tim.
Yeah.
Man, my bad, man. It probably was me, man.
You're the orchestrator.
All right, Marcel, please finish off.
Whoa!
Good performance.
Martial started that. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. My bad.
Bams, first yellow card. Bams, yellow card. All right, Marcel, finish, please.
It was a fine performance. They played very well. Bradford coming off the bench was a stroke of genius. And he played the super sub role that only used to play back in the day. It was really, really nice to see them play. But what impressed me about that was defensively how they defend Leipzig. And I mean, I know people say they're an average team, but I mean, they were pretty dominant in their own league. So I'm not going to say that they're just average. But, I mean, they're not, you know, they're not.
Is it me? Is it me or is your audio bad?
Yeah, it seems to be breaking up. Yeah.
We're losing you, Marcel.
How about now?
Marcel, Marcel, we can't hear you.
Hold on.
All right.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yo, wait a minute. Somebody's game is still on.
Yes, it is.
Bams, is that you?
All right.
He put himself on mute.
Marcel, finish off.
Great performance. When Martial and Rashford are both on the pitch, we're a different team. Played very well. Really like the performance. That's it.
Okay. Right, Chris. Thank you for joining us, Chris. Chris is joining us from UK. So, Chris, what was your take on Man United 5, RB Leipzig 0?
Yes. How's everyone doing?
Not too bad, bro.
I was surprised by the performance and the result as well. What can I say? It was the system worked. I don't know what happened to RB Leipzig because I was expecting them to perform so much better. They were very, very poor that day. And Man United just completely overwhelmed them, which was a major surprise. I mean, who would have predicted 5-0? I mean, where did that come from? I mean, it was just came out of nowhere. But yeah, I mean, I'm not, as everybody knows, I'm not a fan of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but I'll give him his props that day. He delivered, and somehow, some way, they managed to completely out-tactically outmaneuver Nagelsmann, which you wouldn't have thought would have been the case beforehand, would you?
Right. Okay. Thanks, Chris. Bams, Man United 5, RB Leipzig 0. Quickly, let's go.
Okay, yeah, I would say that was a tactical masterclass from Ole. That was, for me, that was one of the best tactical performances that he has done as Man United manager. I still have question marks over Ole. I still don't think he's tactically, he's got tactics, he does, but it's like he's got only like one type of tactic. But again, I'll leave that for another day. But everything, I totally agree with that formation. It was that 4-2. It was that 4-4-2 diamond. Matic holding, and then Pogba on the left side of the box-to-box. Fred was on the right side of the box-to-box, and then Van der Beek 10, and Martial and Greenwood. It worked out really well. I don't think that game was a 5-0 game, to be honest with you. I think it ended up being 5-0 because RB Leipzig just came all the way open. Like they opened up and just came at us, and you know what happens when teams come at us. It's pretty much we just hit them on the break and start scoring goals. And then Rashford, I remember when Rashford came in, Ole told him, "Hey, take up the tempo of the game," and because Rashford said it during his interview. And that's exactly what Rashford did. If you look at that goal, was it the second goal? Well, I think it was the first goal that Rashford scored when he got on the pitch. That was a nice goal. That was Bruno to Rashford through pass, and I think we're still on. I think it was still on our side of the pitch, so he was onside. Nice goal by Rashford, man. It was a good performance all around. I just felt like Ole could have kept that same formation against Arsenal, and maybe we could have won. But again, that makes me it makes me question Ole, because Ole he chops and changes every single game. The lineup changes, like he changes it so much that it's crazy. But again, yeah, I'll give it to him for that game. 5-0, good performance. Yeah, nothing else to say.
Thank you. Kay, step in there, please. Man United 5, RB Leipzig 0.
Yeah. I'll have to agree with what everyone said so far. It was an excellent performance. You have to give Oli props where props is due. He got it spot on the night. And yeah, it was a good performance. However, we have to remember that it was 1-0 at half time. So it wasn't like we totally dominated the game. Yes, we played well, but it was the game could have gone anywhere at half time. And it's just one of those weird things. I actually think that if the guys that came in started the game, we probably wouldn't have won. We probably wouldn't have scored up to 5 goals. It probably would be, yes, we probably would have won, but it wouldn't have been convincing like that. So it's something that maybe Oli needs to consider and play those players a lot more. I don't think it's something to do with Oli keeping the same formation and the same tactics for every game, because every game is different. We saw that against Arsenal. And we know that with Oli, like Bem said as well, there's only one formation, and that's counter-attack, which is not good enough. As a manager of Manchester United, you need to be able to change things up. When teams come out to play, and that's why we're seeing all these weird results against the big teams, because the big teams will come out to play. Your Man Cities, your PSGs, your Leipzigs, and all that, they'll actually come out to play. But when you play against a team like Istanbul, for example, in the Champions, and that's why everyone's thinking, we beat PSG, we beat Leipzig. How did we lose to Istanbul? That's because they sat back. And that's the problem with Man United. It's so easy to beat Man United. I'm telling you, all you've got to do is sit back, soak up the pressure, and hit them on the break. And that's what Man United does. If you do that to Man United, you definitely get a result. But on the night, it was a great performance, excellent performance. Rashford, scored a hat-trick, excellent. So, yeah, that's all I've got to say.
Thank you, Kay. Sammy, come in there. Man United 5, RB Leipzig 0.
Further, Man City is not a big team. They just got a lot of money. They're Wigan Athletic with money.
All right. I'm not going to say much different than what our friends already said. Again, it was a fantastic game. It is some kind of a day for Ole that whatever he laid hands on, everything turned gold. Some kind of a day where everything happens perfectly for him. Obviously, we'll definitely have to give him credit, because that credit is due for him. So for that diamond formation, came up with the diamond formation where Matic, Fred, Pogba, and Van de Beek started really well. Again, things could have been different if you won't be like 1-0 up in the first half. But again, in the second half, we literally steamrolled on RB Leipzig. Their defense was no match for our counter-attack. And obviously, we have to give credit to Rashford's individual brilliance on that day. But it was some kind of a game which was good or bad. Good is because it's been a long time since we had a tremendous convincing win against a big team like RB Leipzig. Was actually sitting at the top of the Bundesliga table around the same time when we played them. But also bad for us. It's kind of, we are a little carried away with that. We thought of, okay, we beat PSG, Leipzig, we could have actually beat anyone, but we didn't pay attention to it. Was basically because of the tactical flaws we had, which easily other small teams, Arsenal is a small team, I would definitely consider they manipulated us in the next game with our tactical flaws, because we literally, our attacks lack that kind of penetration ability against the pass the bus, or when the defense starts feedback, then our attackers are not able to penetrate it quite well. It's because of the formation or the tactics, which Ole still has to work on. But again, it was a really good game for us, and Ole should get full 100% credit for the tactical formation that lead us to that 5-0 convincing win against RB Leipzig on that night.
Thank you very much, Sammy. Shegun, step in, close out the RB Leipzig game for us. I can't hear him. Shegun.
He's on mute.
Shagun, let me unmute you. Shagun, unmute yourself. Should be fine now. Shagun, go on.
I think I thought the results actually flattered United because for a long stretch of the game, RB Leipzig dominated the game until we scored those late goals. But overall, it was a good game. We played well. We took advantage of Leipzig's inexperience and their game plan, because I thought a Champions League game shouldn't have been as open as that. So I'm not sure what their coach was thinking. I mean, even when he was 2-3 goals down, he was still attacking. So, no, seriously, in a Champions League game, I mean, you don't expect, there are a few exceptions. You don't expect teams to concede 4 or 5 goals. So that was an exception, which actually doesn't reflect well on their manager, setting his team up in a way that they would attack even when they were down by 3 goals. So I thought it was a good game, and I thought the result flattered Man United. We played well, no doubt, but I don't think we dominated the game as people may want to believe because of the final score.
Right.
So that's my take.
All right, thank you very much, Shagun, for closing out the RB Leipzig game. After that fantastic, phenomenal, astronomical thrashing of RB Leipzig, we came to another London team at home at Old Trafford. Arsenal, the team we kind of like to beat, we want to beat, we couldn't beat, we ended up losing. Now, Dr. J, start me off with the Man United's defeat at home to Arsenal.
It was very, very annoying, very embarrassing. I'm telling you, Tim, you see, the interesting thing I took from that match was that we played the same formation of 4-1-2-1-2, okay?
Right.
But we had Fred sitting in front of the back four. And Fred, to me, is not a CDM. As somebody said, there is a box-to-box midfielder. Whereas when we played Leipzig, he was on the right, PSG, he was on the right-hand side of the midfield. You understand? And also, Arsenal have not beaten us in Old Trafford since 2006. That's 14 years.
Very true. That's very true.
Oh, it was painful. And against the top 6, they have not won in 29 games since 2006. Sorry, since 2016. So that's about 4 years, you know. So there's a problem there with always chopping and changing. He's playing McTominay beside Pogba in a diamond, but McTominay is not really good on that role. He has to play the players in their best positions. That's what he needs to do. He's chopping and changing too much. Another thing I noticed is, as somebody said there, when we allow teams to come at us, we are able to win the game. Against PSG, we had the lower possession. I think PSG had 63%. Against Leipzig, we had a lower possession. And then against Arsenal, even though we had more possession, we lost the game. So there's something not quite right, you know.
All right. Thank you, Dr. J. I'm going to bring in Marcel. Arsenal's 1, Man United 0. Old Trafford. What happened?
That bullshit ass penalty is what happened. We shouldn't have lost that. Bullshit ass penalty. Any other time it would have been even gotten. That was crap. It was terrible. So I'm not gonna say like some quote unquote fans say, "Oh, Arsenal bossed us. They overdominated us." They didn't do anything. This is Arsenal.
They didn't do anything. Honestly, they didn't.
They did not outplay us on that day. They absolutely did not outplay us on that day. But what I will say,
I'm sorry. They did. They outplayed us. I'm sorry.
Ben.
I'm sorry.
Come on,
I'm sorry. They
no,
outplayed us. I'm sorry.
You can't even come
I'm sorry. They
on,
could have.
man.
No. I'm sorry.
No.
Ben, we did not.
Can I
I'm sorry,
Ben?
I don't agree with you.
Can I ask you why do you think they outplayed us? We had 8 shots at goal. They had 7. Yeah. We had more possession. We had more passes. We had more pass accuracy. I mean, how did they outplay us?
Okay. Let me tell you something, right? That game was a man-to-man market, right?
Marcel, please finish.
I'll speak my piece later.
One time. They players, that was a bullshit penalty, and if anything, it should have been a draw. And that's really all I got because I'm over Arsenal. More importantly, I'm over Arsenal fan. You're not gonna tell me a team that got their ass kicked by Villa 3-0 in their own goddamn home is better than us. I'm not.
All right, thank you, Marcel. Right, Vimal, step in there. Man United 0, Arsenal 1, Old Trafford.
I can see everyone's got quite mixed views here. But from what I saw of the game, Arsenal had the upper hand for most of the game. They had much better possession. They kept the ball better than us. They were attacking more than us. They had more action in our half than we had in theirs. I mean, I don't know what.
Thank you, Vimal. Thank you, Vimal. Well spoken.
They had a lot of possession. They looked more hungry for the ball. They looked faster. Marcel, I don't know what game you were watching. they were hungry, man. We just looked slow and like clueless.
The first half, Arsenal were a bit more. They looked like they bossed us in the first half. I remember clearly.
You see the hunger. You see the hunger with them right from the start. With us, it's on and off. You know, with PSG, we have the hunger. With RB Leipzig, we have the hunger. But with other games, it switches off. So why are we switching off? Why is the hunger not always there?
Sorry to cut in, but hunger it has nothing to do with the possession. The stat at the end of the game was 54% for Manchester United, 46 for Arsenal.
I disagree. I disagree.
8 for Arsenal. No, Google it. Google it.
I don't go on stats. I mean, I play football every week, and I run a football club in London. And the way we win games is that you gotta fight for that ball. You gotta retake possession, and you gotta be hungry for it. And if you just sit back and let the other team dominate, you're not gonna win a game.
Yeah, but that's not possession, though.
There absolutely is possession.
They just sat back and got us.
Marcel, I just hear bleeps.
Hold on, Vimal, have you finished?
Yeah. But
okay. Right.
they just look more hungry.
Okay. I'm gonna bring in Chris here, right behind Vimal. Chris, Man United 0, Arsenal 1. Quickly talk to me.
I've got to agree with Vimal. Even though when you look at the stats, if the possession favored Man United slightly.
Exactly.
But again, the stats, it didn't really mean anything because based on what I saw of the game, there only seemed to be one team who had that tactical nous, who had that organization. That you could see there was only one team that was being coached properly. Man United, it was very stale, ineffective, static. You had Solskjaer there sitting on his monitor as usual. I don't know what the plan was for that day. And like what Mr. Dr. Ju just said, they changed where Fred played in the game prior. Why did he do that? And also,
I don't know.
He's complicating things and trying to think as if it's almost like he's trying to he's trying to prove to people that he's got that tactical ability, but we know that he doesn't. And it's really, really silly. But the Arsenal game, to me, it was really, really poor. It was very, very poor what I saw. Man United did not deserve to win that game. They deserved the defeat, unfortunately, as sad as it seems to. Hopefully there's no Arsenal fans listening to this right now. But yeah, they did deserve to win. Man United did not play well in that game. They came on the pitch. There wasn't a style of play. You couldn't say what this individual was doing, what this person was doing here and there. It wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough. Playing McTominay in defensive midfield, I don't know what he was thinking about. McTominay is not a holding midfielder. He should not be starting for Manchester United. He's simply not good enough. Simply not good enough. And then you have people like Tuanzebe who played against PSG and he's nowhere to be seen afterwards. It doesn't make any sense to me. The Arsenal game was terrible. It was awful what I saw that day. And again, I don't even know what more to add on that. I don't know. I don't have anything else to add on that. It was just it was a catastrophe, that game.
Okay.
Absolute catastrophe.
Thanks, Chris. I'm going to bring in Benz. Man United 0, Arsenal 1, Old Trafford.
Well, I guess I know. I guess Chris and Vermont was watching the same game I was watching, because I totally agree with them too. Yeah, they. I mean, we were outplayed, man. It's point blank simple. Arsenal wanted it more. I mean, it was clear. Even though the stats favored us a little bit more, sometimes I don't agree with stats, man. On the pitch, we did not perform well. Simple. Even Pogba said it during his interview after the game. The players said it. They didn't perform well. We didn't play well that game. I'm gonna put a lot of blame on Ole. I don't know why you have such a stunning game against RB Leipzig. You turn around and then you change the personnel. You take Fred from the box-to-box position and play him at CDM. And then you take Twansibi out. I get the Twansibi thing, because Twansibi he wants to be careful. Twansibi hasn't played for a lot of for like what, almost a year.
Right.
So he wants to kind of slowly bed him in.
Right.
I get that, but I mean, you don't make that many changes, man. You don't make too many changes. That's Ole for you, man. He changes the formation. He changes the personnel from game to game. How can we stay consistent if he keeps doing that? It's just not. It's not gonna happen. But I mean, it was a terrible, terrible, terrible performance, man. And I'm gonna blame a lot of it on Ole, just simply because again, someone said before, Fred's not a CDM. He's a box to box. You put Fred at CDM and you put McTominay in the box to box role beside Fred, and the game changes. Just keep the same team that beat RB Leipzig. It's simple. Keep the same team. Why change it? I mean, like, what are you trying to prove? You're trying to prove to us that you can do that against RB Leipzig, and you can change it up and still do the same thing again? I mean, you can't. I mean, that game was terrible. It was terrible. The performance, I'm going to keep repeating it every single time. We were total crap. So we deserve to lose. It's just sad that Pogba gave away that penalty. I think Pogba, again, is not being completely fit because he had COVID. I think Van der Beek should have played. I don't know why Van der Beek didn't get a minute in that game. Again, that's on Ole. Yours truly, Ole. I mean, some of the things he does, it just surprised me. But again, yeah, it wasn't a good performance, man. So
okay,
yeah.
Thank you very much, Ben. Joe, step in. Man United 0, Arsenal 1.
Well, yeah, it was very disappointing performance by the team. It just didn't seem like Ole sought out the midfield. That's where we okay. So here's where I split with some of the guys over here. Yes, they were very disciplined defensively. It seemed like they were very imposing on us because of their ability to get the ball back as soon as they lost it. That's fine. But moving forward, they didn't threaten us moving forward. It's not like David De Gea had a bunch of work to do that day. You know, they only had about 2 shots on target. You know, so that's why I draw the line as to saying that Arsenal dominated us. No, they were very disciplined defensively, and their pressing was very good. So it made it seem like they, because they got the ball pretty quickly. But moving forward, the final third, they were non-existent at all. Aubameyang completely ghost man, just completely disappeared. And it was unfortunate about the penalty kick. But, yeah, this whole idea that we can play the same squad day in, day out, like with the kind of games, this season in particular, we're playing a lot of games. And this is the kind of team that we, unfortunately, cannot afford to have injuries in certain key points. Yes, we have got a little bit more depth this season, and that's good. But I see why sometimes Ole tries to bring some players in, some players out. And part of our frustration is that sometimes we see players that we feel like are not good enough to be able to play. But I feel like this is part of Ole's man management thing, where before he officially put somebody that's junior of you, above you on the team, he's going to put you in a bunch of games to let you lose your position. I think that's why we're seeing Mata on the pitch. I think that's why we're seeing James sometimes on the pitch. I think it's giving these guys just one chance before he starts bringing in Donny van de Beek. Don't get me wrong. That's not the kind of strategy. That's not how I would have done it. But you can see why him trying to, not have the same lineup over and over. And I get you. He changes too much, right? And this is because he doesn't necessarily have a system. If he has a system, then you should be able to change players and say, hey, you're going to be playing this one. Everybody should generally notice, have a bit more structure. But it's freestyle football. So when you bring in somebody new, that person has no idea what he's supposed to be doing in reference to what the last guy was doing. So, again, disappointing game. And, the team didn't play well. McTominay and Fred had horrible games. Their game was terrible. And that's part of the reason why we looked so lackluster, because the midfield was completely a dead zone. We couldn't make anything work, any progression through the midfield. That's always kept on going through the sides. And you can't go through the sides, definitely not on the right side, because there's no outlet there with Basaka and Mata. So we were predictable, always trying to make it work through the left. That's where they killed us.
That's a very good point. Very good point. Thank you, Joe. Sammy.
Yeah. I'm going to agree with my friend Joe, as he mentioned about that, there's a debate going on whether they dominated the game or not. I would say Arsenal didn't dominate the game. Yeah, they played a really pressing football. They wanted to win the ball back every now and then. And that kind of somehow some people thought about if they dominated the midfield. But eventually, they won't be able to, whenever they win the ball back, they're not able to transform that to a good attack and get a good shot on target. Which is why it seems like in a midfield, they dominated it, they win the ball back, but they had only 2 shots on target. So that's it, they are not able to transform it attack because they don't have a good striker. With all due respect, refereeing was bullshit on that day. There is no way we would get that penalty. At least we will also get a penalty. I guess Matic or somebody was tripped in that midfield. We should have got a penalty. So that game should have ended as a draw. Okay. So, I know we played really bad. Our formation really bad. I don't know why on earth Ole changed Fred and McTominay's position. First of all, Matic should have started. When he knew that Arsenal is going to play a pressing game, Matic would be ideal in that situation. If Matic should have been there, we would have definitely dominated the game, we would have won the game. But McTominay, he's not that kind of player. As soon as he lost the ball, he's done. He's not going to go and get the ball and stable the game, which Matic should have been done. So that was obviously tactical flaw on Ole's end. Now, going back to the point, everybody's saying, why Ole is changing tactics? We don't know what's going on in the behind. We don't know what management told Ole. If management told Ole that this is the season, you're going to just do testing. You're just going to try with all the players in different combination you can. Just go ahead. We're not playing for the Champions League or we're not playing for winning Premier League. If that's the case, if that Ole has been told, then I guess he's doing the right thing, right? He's still trying players in a different position.
But
okay, I'm not
Ole is the management.
I don't like his idea. I don't like his idea about playing Fred in the defensive midfield position. I would totally oppose that. But we don't know what's happening over there. I guess you all heard what Ed Woodward made a statement yesterday. Okay, so I don't know. Maybe they're backing his idea of changing players and trying them in different positions in every game, which I really don't like. But I guess it is what it is. Okay, so but at some point, I guess we still have to be realistic. Maybe we only have to stop doing that. But I think he already tried out everyone in different positions. I think his testing should be done, and we already cost a lot of games. The Arsenal one was one of the main examples when we cost the game because of trying a different combination, which didn't work out.
Okay.
But again, it is what it is, and I'm not going to say that Arsenal dominated the game. There's no way they didn't dominate the game. The game should have ended as a draw. And we really, after that game against RB Leipzig, Ole should take the blame of having that, very dreadful performance on that.
Okay.
Thank
you very much, Sammy. Kay, can you step in and round us up?
Yeah, it was a very disappointing game. For us in England, there are 3 teams that we don't actually like losing to: Arsenal, Man City, and Liverpool. Arsenal, because obviously all our fans,
it's just the fans. It's just the fans. It's just
Arsenal fans. There are loads of Arsenal fans around us, Liverpool fans, but a lot, and they talk absolute nonsense. You know, it's just, if there's a team that, as a United fan in England, you do not want to lose to, especially if you live in South England, it's Arsenal, because it's like it's like winning the Champions League if you lose to Arsenal, because they're just going to go on about it for months. Anyway, it was Oli has to take the blame for that. The tactics wasn't right, and that's because we don't have a system. United does not have a system. If you look at Man City, it doesn't matter what personnel comes in. Everyone knows what they're doing. You know, everyone's talking about players shouldn't have played in certain positions. Yes and no. Yes, in the sense that some players like McTominay is not a DM. Yes, we know that. Fred's not a DM, but if they had an assignment, if there was a system, they can adapt, right? They can adapt and get something done. But there's no system. Everyone's just, it's like, I come in, I'm playing next week. Oh yeah, what am I doing? I'm just there in it, just DM, just sit there and do whatever. So that's one of the reasons. I was actually very disappointed with Pogba, and I made it very clear in our WhatsApp group as well, because I know we were absolutely shocking, but there's been, how many times have we seen it under Sir Alex where we've been absolutely dreadful, and then we nick a goal in the 93rd minute, smash and grab and all that stuff. I don't know what Pogba's doing. That's 2 penalties he's given away in 2 home games. It's ridiculous, guys. It's actually not good enough. 2 penalties in 2 home starts. It's not good enough.
The Brighton game, the VAR called that one out. It's giving away 3 penalties this season.
Yeah, that's exactly, yeah. So it's just not good enough. I mean, a player like that, let him go. If he scores, he scores. Just let him cross the ball. And the thing is, Bellerin was actually going wide. The best he could do was cross that ball. And we had a lot of players in defensive positions to deal with it. You know, we could have, we're all saying he was shocking, and I totally agree. The performance was dreadful, but we could have won. We could have actually won the game. You just never know. Get a corner in the last minute. We nicked the game 1-0, and that's game done. But anyway, everyone thinks I'm picking on Pogba, but I just feel like he can do better there. You know, the game itself, like I said, when we play against teams that sit back and control the midfield and, you know, sort of park the boss, we struggle. We always do. We always do. And watch it, next game against West Brom, watch what's going to happen against West Brom. Everyone's thinking West Brom's coming to Old Trafford, 3 points. We might actually end up losing the game or drawing that game, because it's just going to be 2 banks of 4. Rashford gets glued. Rashford doesn't know how to. We don't have players that can play against teams that sit deep. Rashford's going to be clueless. All our forward line, Martial likes to come and get the ball. So yeah, until we sort out that issue, you know, where we can dominate, not just dominate, we can break teams down. And Van der Beek is someone that can do that. You know, I feel he needs to get more playing time. But yeah, that's it was so disappointing. I was fuming in the group. Jude and I'm sure Tim and Chris, I was going mad because all my phone just couldn't stop vibrating. You know, but yeah, it was a shocking performance. We move on. My only concern is just the fact that we can't break teams down. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Kay. So we have up to the Arsenal game, we had played 4 London teams, lost to Palace, lost to Spurs, lost to Arsenal. Losing to Arsenal even hurt me more than losing to Spurs, and that's considering the scores. I can't
definitely, I totally agree with that. Yeah,
annoy me. The Arsenal fans just annoy me. Then we lost to Palace, Spurs. Then we drew with Chelsea, lost to Arsenal. Now we get back to the Champions League. We now had Istanbul, the worst team in that group.
Yeah.
I don't understand what happened. I'm going to start with Marcel. How did United lose in Istanbul?
Actually, I didn't see it, so I can't really speak a whole lot on it. I mean, I saw the highlights of the defensive mistakes that we made, but I didn't really see the game, so I don't really have a whole lot to say. So, yeah.
All right, Dr. J. Man United 1, Istanbul 2.
It was painful to watch. It was painful to watch. Again, we had more possession in that game, right? As you said, Istanbul were the worst team in that group. But it seems to be we have a problem with Turkish team, because I always look at the stats. we have lost 4 games in 6 visits to the Turkish team, which is a lot, you know. And it's interesting because that ended our best 10 consecutive away wins.
Yes.
You know, and it was painful to watch. We had only 2 shots on target. They had more shots than us. We were very poor, very schoolboy. What do you call it? Mistakes. It was mistakes after mistakes after mistakes. So it was a poor game, to be honest with you. It was a really poor game, and we made them really look good.
Exactly.
You know,
if you remember the first goal, the long ball over the top. I couldn't believe.
Oh my God, I couldn't believe it. What? That's basic stuff. You know, players, professional players. You know, when you have the last opponent, you have to have 2 players on him, one in front of him and one behind him. If the ball comes short, the guy in front of him gets the ball. If it goes long, the other guy has a chance to win the ball. It was annoying. It was a really bad game.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. J. Sammy, Istanbul 2, Man United 1.
Well, I don't want to say a lot of things about that game because it was really a shambolic performance on our end. It was so bad. I mean, I didn't watch the game, to be honest with you. I just watched the highlights. I mean, I'm going to start with the first goal we conceded. Where was our defense, you know? I mean, our 2 central defenders, God knows where they were, and we just got conceded a goal when we just left that striker totally all by himself, and he just ran through the middle. I mean, it's like, I mean, if somebody, you know, like a 5-year kid will basically go to a training camp, his coach should start with that. You know, this is what you should not do when you being a defender. Okay, that's not a, you know, it's a below than a school level mistake. You know, like I just can't believe that we conceded a goal like that. And again, if you just look at the stats, which I'm looking at right now, we had 69% ball position, and we just made 3 shots on target. So that basically tells the story. What we did actually. We played in the middle. I don't know. It was maybe a midfield lapse. I didn't watch the game, to be honest with you, so I can't say a lot about it. But it's the worst team in the group. We could have easily won the game. And we never actually had a good run against the Turkish team, even in the previous years also. But still, we should have at least, you know, get 3 points from that game, which we just blew it. And again, we just continued the same performance, where we ended up, you know, against Arsenal. It's kind of the continuation of the same momentum. I mean, again, I couldn't say much about that game since I didn't watch the game.
Thank you very much, Sammy. Vimal, step in for us. Istanbul 2, Man United 1. What happened in that game, right?
Yeah, I'll keep it short and sweet. It's the first time Istanbul's ever been in the Champions League. So obviously they're newbies, they're inexperienced, they're a team of non-stars. This game is an indication of Ollie's coaching methods. It shows that there's a lack of discipline, there's a lack of structure. The first goal was just schoolboy defending. Both centre halves were up front. Matic was the last man, and he was switched off as well. I believe that was the first goal, correct?
Yes, first goal was the last man chasing.
Yeah, so this whole game is an indication of Ollie's coaching methods and his coaching team as a whole. It's probably not just Ollie on his own. So I think it was shambolic. It was embarrassing.
Okay, thanks, Vimal. Joe, Istanbul 2, Man United 1.
Yeah, just a complete embarrassment from the team. It's okay, if you're if you're a coach for an academy team, right? If you're coaching like little kids, you know, Manchester United is supposed to be one of those teams that you take your players to go see, so that you can show them things to do offensively, you know, to be more dynamic, you know, to be able to play better. We're that team where we're making defensive mistakes as examples to teach little kids on what not to do. And we're supposed to be a top club team. You know, it was like completely shambolic. The team did not show up to play that game. They played to the level of the opposition. Ole got it completely wrong. Strategic wise, and everybody just went brain dead. That first goal was just completely unacceptable. It is unacceptable for us to call ourselves a big club, and for us to be able to concede in that way. You know, like what that's a weird thing about Ola. You almost now are wondering, are the wins the flukes or are the losses the flukes? Because I just don't know. Because we can beat someone like PSG, right? But that could be considered a fluke when we lose to a team like Istanbul, you know? So it was
very correct.
But then again, we can lose to Istanbul and maybe that's the fluke, right? But then we, you know, like it's just completely, I have no idea. It was very disheartening game, but
yeah, maybe it's possible we win all the games against PSG and RB Leipzig and we lost both the game against Istanbul. That could be possible. And we'll still make it to the next round.
Yeah, right.
Chris, step in.
We are so unpredictable.
Yes, Tim.
Yes. Man United 1, Istanbul 2.
I didn't watch the full game. I watched the highlights because
when you saw United concede, what was your take on those goals United conceded?
It's the Ole Muppet show, isn't it? I mean, it's just complete shambles. I've never seen a goal like that ever. This is the kind of stuff you see in under fives levels, under 5 divisions. It's amateurish, Tim. It's just because I remember I was speaking to my friend on WhatsApp. I was speaking to my friend on WhatsApp, and he said you need to see this goal. And then when I saw it in the highlights, I had to put my hand over my head. It was just like the who I can't remember who spoke earlier said. It really is a reflection of Ole's tenure as a Man United coach. It's so bad what I saw. And the second goal that they conceded, you had 3 players in one area of the pitch, and then you see the goal coming from the other side. You had 3 defenders.
Being drawn to the ball. It's sad. It's sad. It really
what is all that about? Where's Maguire, this leader? Where is he? Who's leading the ship? He should be organizing the back line. There should be 2 men there near the halfway line. He should be leading that, and he should be organizing the back line so that everybody there's a form of cohesion at the back. And there wasn't anything. You're not seeing leadership from Maguire. We're not seeing leadership from Ole. This is Manchester United. This is not Leyton Orient FC, is it? This is Manchester United. We're supposed to be the highest caliber top team that people look up to, and they're seeing this and they're like, oh, look at these clowns. Manchester United, the clowns these days. It's a joke. Like I said, it's a Muppet show. It's the Ole Muppet show. That's really what it is. And the thing that the other thing that concerned me about this was the fact that he took off Tuanzebe at halftime. I think that it's killing the young players. It's gonna kill him mentally, something like that. I think that was a wrong move. And also bringing on McTominay. What was all that about? McTominay, really? The whole game was a mess. It was a complete mess. And what's going to happen next? They're playing West Brom. West Brom, you can say, almost on the same level as Istanbul, or maybe a little bit lower. What are we going to expect against West Brom? Because Manchester United, every day it's up and down, up and down. There's no form of consistency. It's yo, up and down. They're mid-table team right now. We're in 14th position. I'm talking about Champions League, but in general, in the league, they're in 14th position. But the Champions League game, it was truly embarrassing. It was an embarrassment for the whole Manchester United community.
I agree.
I don't have anything else to say about that.
Thank you, Chris. Ben, step in there. Man United, Istanbul. Man United lost 2-1.
Man, terrible game, man. I watched the first half and a little bit of the second half. Man, I mean, that defending, man, I don't know who's teaching them boys how to defend, but man, we can't defend to save our lives, man. That was just terrible. I mean, Ole and his tactics. I mean, I'm gonna say this. This is tactics when you have your defensive line push a high line. Like if your defensive line is all the way up there, that's Ole telling them to do that. And even when he does that, you leave Matic, who is a slow midfielder. That's like not even. I think I think Matic was like 20 yards away from their center forward.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm like, man, and so you expect Matic to catch up with their center forward if they get the ball, which he did. So that's one. Maguire's not a captain. I totally agree with Chris on that one. Maguire's not a captain. I just don't know what the guy does for us really. I mean, Maguire, he left Twanzebe on Dembaba, right? Yeah. And then Maguire, he's the free center back, right? Maguire is the most physical center back we have. Right. He's the biggest. He's good in the air. The only thing he doesn't have is speed. Maguire should be marking Dembaba. I'm sorry. That shouldn't be Twanzebe. Maguire did the same thing again in Everton. He puts Lindelof on Calvert-Lewin, and he leaves, and then he becomes the free center back. What kind of terrible leadership is that? I mean, back in the days of Rio Ferdinand, Vidic, them guys were going at every single ball. They don't care who you are. They're marking you. Like, they don't care. Those were leaders back then. But Maguire is, I don't know. He's to me, again, I'm going to keep repeating myself. Maguire's not a leader. That performance was shambolic. And again, when we, we weren't able to break.
They sat back.
They sat back. Again, when the team sits back against us, we can't break them down. So the tactics to break, I don't see patterns of play. If you watch Liverpool, if you watch City, you see patterns of play. When you watch us, there's no pattern of play, especially when we're trying to break teams down. It's just guys moving around the pitch. You pass here, you go here, you pass, and then, I mean, what is the tactic, man? I really do not know. I mean, yes, I know that he does that sit back and counterattack, but how can we break teams down? I mean, you have creative players on that team that can do that, but why? I just don't understand, man. It was a terrible performance. I think Van der Beek was one of the better performing midfielders that day, and he took him out. I think he took him out for McTominay, right? That was. Man, Ole, man, I really don't know what to say about this guy, man. Yes, he's done some good things, and he's done some also poor things, but man, he's very questionable, man. It's a terrible performance. It was a terrible performance, man. Bad from Ole, bad from Maguire's leadership. So,
okay, step in, please.
Yeah, I mean, what else is left to say? It was you can lose games. Under Sir Alex, we've lost games that we shouldn't have lost. We've lost games that were 3-pointers. That everyone thought we were going to absolutely walk over. But it's just the manner in which you lose these games. I mean, I play in a Saturday league, and I don't think we've ever conceded a goal like that ever, because. Because I'm a right back, right? If I'm going to go up, I talk to my centre back, right? Are you going? Because obviously centre backs will go for the corners, right? Yeah. And at the full back, because I'm faster, I'm usually the one that sits back. So my centre back will go, Ken, I'm going. Yeah. I'll be like, yeah, thumbs up. I'll say, are you going? There's communication there. It's just a schoolboy error. I mean, how we concede a goal like that, especially the first goal, was just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it's never you won't see that in the Hackney Marshes on a Sunday morning as well.
You're very true. Very true.
Yeah, it's just embarrassing. The second goal, again, shocking. Maguire's he needs to step up. I've given him a chance. There's a lot of people in this squad that think he's not good enough, but he's really proven that he needs to. He's really not stepping up, is he? So he's not. I don't think he's a captain. He's not a captain. And, Bems mentioned something very important was that when we play against top centre-back, this has happened in the FA Cup semi-final as well, and various games. For some reason, I don't know if it's Oli or Maguire that makes that decision where Maguire is always this spare man, like you're a big, strong centre-back, £80 million signing. You should be tackling the big guy, He did it against Lindelof. He left against Chelsea versus what's his name again? Giroud. He left Lindelof to mark Giroud in the FA Cup semi-final. He's done the same last week, and even against Everton as well. You know.
Yep.
So I think Lindelof was marking Calvert-Lewin. You know. So I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, it goes back to what I'm saying. If you sit back against United, and that's what Istanbul did, they sat back, soaked up the pressure, because they knew that United would eventually, and that's what always happens. Every time we teams sit back against us, because we get so frustrated, we can't break them down. Our centre-backs start pushing up. That's where you see the likes of Maguire moving into the 18-yard box, trying to take a shot, not thinking about someone, looking back behind his shoulder. Full-backs are pushing way up, and then they get exposed. One ball, one counter-attack. Against Spurs, that was exactly what happened. So until Oli finds a way of sorting this rubbish out, as it stands, he's only got a plan A. There's no plan B, there's no plan C. And that plan A is to sit back and hit teams on the break. But you can't do that at Old Trafford. And you can't do that, when at home. But when he goes against smaller teams, he's expected to win. He just panics and then, let's all overcommit. But yeah, it was a terrible, terrible performance. And yeah, one I didn't see coming. Yeah.
Istanbul being the weakest team in the group, we all knew that. We all expected. I was talking to most of the guys in Houston Red Army. This is 9 points. We're beating the two teams, RB Leipzig, PSG. So we're nearly qualified. We're going to top the group.
Yeah.
The goal we conceded, that ball over the top. Then the second goal, I saw Mata pass to Bruno, who wasn't expecting the ball. He loses the ball. They cross the ball on the floor to the box, just like we did against Sevilla. And they all run to the ball, and a guy is free.
Ball watching.
They're all ball watching. The second thing there was, when teams sit back, we just can't find a way to break teams down. I don't know why it is that way. I don't know what the problem is, but it seems to be a pattern. The Sevilla game, we outplayed Sevilla. We didn't win. 2 crosses into the box, 2 goals, and the game was over. Just like that. This is the problem. And Ole has to sort it out. I listened what Ben said. I heard what Chris said and what Shegun and Dr. J said. Ole, the chopping and changing is causing problems. And another thing is, Maguire is leaving Lindelof to take on the biggest guy of the.
Maguire's a coward.
It might be the case. Because when you have people like Calvin Lewis, who's 6'3", 6'4", Lindelof, who even the guy for Liverpool brushes off all the time. How do you expect him to handle Calvin Lewis? It's not possible. So I don't know why he chickens away from attacking the center forward of the opposition. I don't know if it's what him and Ole. I don't get it, and that's why we are. So let's move on to our last game, which is Everton. I'm going to start with Vimal. Everton, we beat. You see, we expected to beat Istanbul and lose to Everton. We did the reverse.
Yeah, I mean, with Everton, that was a critical game for Ollie, because I don't know what the media is saying over there, but effectively they were saying here that if he loses this game, that's it, he's out. He's on the chopping block. So, it was desperation for him. But the man that really saved him and who should be United captain going forward, forget Maguire, it has to be Bruno. Bruno saved the show. It was absolute masterclass from him. I mean, the goals he created, the feint cross into the box, which Rashford appeared to header and he missed. It was just absolutely brilliant from Bruno what he did, and he saved Ole for probably another few weeks perhaps. But it was a good game, the one that they needed to win, but it was all down to Bruno for me.
Thank you very much, Sammy.
Yeah, I'm gonna reiterate, but in a little different way. Obviously, it was Bruno was man of the match. Bruno literally, he was basically the one who pulled us back from 1-0 goal behind. He was instrumental to score goals, plus getting that through pass to Rashford, which later on actually awarded to Bruno. It was his goals. And I was happy that Cavani also got into the score sheet, but nothing was possible until unless Bruno could step up and hold the midfield together and got us back to the game because we were already 1-0 down. And I don't think so. Defensively, we did miraculously well. It was, again, we just have to give Bruno for his individual brilliance. It was just Bruno's game. And I'm not sure, I'm not going to get into that whether he saved Ole's job by, or give him some few weeks more time to save his job. But it seems like it was totally Bruno's game. And he should be awarded for that. And the award should be getting the Manchester United captain's band. He should be our captain going forward. And I don't see Maguire leading us anymore. If Ole should still do that, then I guess he's going to put his job and Maguire's position in the team at stake by keeping Maguire as captain. So again, in a nutshell, it was totally Bruno's individual brilliance win us the game, and he should be our captain going forward.
Thank you. Marcel, please step in. Man United beat Everton 3-1, sorry.
Come back to me. Give me a minute.
Okay. All right. Dr. J, can you step in fast? Man United 3, Everton 1.
He's on mute.
I think he's muted.
He's muted, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, sorry about that. I said I think it was deja vu. Each time we perform badly, the boys always seem to come back and save Ole's ass. It was a good performance. When we considered that first goal in the 19th minute, I was like, oh, here we go again.
Yes.
But then Bruno, in 7.5 minutes, he turned that game around. He turned it around in 7.5 minutes, 2-1 going into halftime. Again, we had less possession. Okay. Yeah. Everton had the more possession, and I was just so happy Cavani scored his first goal, and Bruno was so unselfish to have passed that ball to him. He could have gone for the hat-trick.
Yes.
He could have gone for the hat-trick. So to me, Bruno is a classic example of a team player. Is a classic example of one of the players who cares in the team, And I think all the other players need to feed off him, And some people say, oh, he only just arrived, but he's ticking all the boxes, whether you like it or not. He's ticking all the boxes. And that's the truth.
That's true. Thank you very much, Mr. J. Joe, Man United 3, Everton 1.
Really good game again. Yes, the team showed up again to save Ole's job. Say what you want. Like, can we just completely squash it? Like from now on, if there's any other news bulletin or whatever from the Sun or whoever the hell that talks about how there's like strife in the locker room, clearly that is not the case. These guys are ride or die for Ole. It could be a little misguided, but hey, they show up whenever they need to. This is the first game back with Martial. He played okay, decent. But yeah, masterclass from Bruno. And Fred and McTominay, unlike the Arsenal game, you got to give them a lot of credit. They did exactly what you needed them to do for that Arsenal game, and we dominated the midfield, and we're able to. When Bruno is cooking, that's because he's not having to worry about going to the back, retrieving the ball, and we're keeping possession, and he's able to feed the ball moving forward. So it was a really good game for the team. You got to give it credit to Ole when he gets it right. Give it credit to defense too. Defensively, we're pretty decent, and that was it. Yeah.
Thank you, Joe. Chris, step in for me, please. Man United 3, Everton 1. I'm so used to United scoring 1. Sorry.
Well, it's happened again, hasn't it? They've won just as they lost. Just as you weren't expecting them to win. The Juju man came in for him again. It's always at the moments when he's under huge, intense pressure when he's on thin ice, that somehow he comes through. The Juju man's done the job for him again. But I mean, I don't really. How can I say? I don't really know how to put this. To me, he's not Ole's been a coach for 10 years at least, for just over 10 years. So he's not somebody who's just started. He's coaching qualifications, or he's just starting getting into coaching as a getting into his coaching, beginning his coaching career. But in general, his tenure at Man United has been abysmal to me. He's been in charge of Man United in the last 30 years, where they're suffering the worst drought in the last 30 years. His win percentage is 43.3% since he's been a coach. To me, it's only a matter of time until he's relinquished of his role. I thought what was quite prominent in that game was that David Gill was present. When was the last time you saw David Gill present for Man United game?
I've not seen him in a while.
I mean, that tells you something, doesn't it? Okay. That means they must know something that we don't know. How long is he going to continue like this for? Because we can't have this up and down, up and down. This is not good enough. Right. Man United are down there. We're closer to relegation than further up, than closer to the top of the league. It's simply not good enough. Because what's happening is, in order for them to climb up the table, they need to win at least 4, 5, 6 games in a row.
At least.
Can they win that under Solskjaer? I doubt it. I highly doubt it. Because what's going to happen is you're going to have the up and down, unsteady results continuously happening. So to me, I'll be shocked if he's still there after Christmas. Because I don't see him being around in the new year. He's not good enough. He's not good enough.
Wait. No matter what the results?
Well, the results prove themselves. He hasn't been consistent, has he, as a Man United coach?
So you're saying that they've already made the decision that he's not going to make it?
No,
it doesn't matter what happens from here on out.
I think that it's telling, the fact that David Gill was there. I think that's very telling.
That's speculation now. Like, okay, yes, there could be a plethora of reasons of why he's there. Like to directly go to that route just because an individual showed up at a match. Somebody that is well linked with the team. It shouldn't be a surprise that someone like David Gill, such a focal figure in Manchester United history, is at Manchester.
Yeah, but why at this time? Why at this time? It's no coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences. I don't think this is a coincidence that he was there at that time. To me, I feel that they deep down the board know that there needs to be a change. Because realistically, if you look at the situation right now, the situation in the league is catastrophic. It's disastrous. It's not acceptable for Manchester United to be in 14th place right now. I don't care whether they got a couple of games in hand. It's just not good enough.
I agree.
There's also
you think Bayern Munich or Real Madrid would allow their coach to still be in 14th position and carry on?
No.
They wouldn't allow that.
There's also financial implications as well.
Chris, Ben, pick up from there. Then after Ben's, Marcel follow after Ben. Let me just reach out quickly. So Ben, jump in now, Ben, and after Ben, Marcel followed right in. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the Everton game, the players came and performed. I'm really gonna put a lot of it on Bruno. Bruno saved Ole's job. If Bruno didn't play that game, I don't think we would have won. Bruno has saved Ole's job in a number of times now. He saved Ole when he was signed, and then we went on this unbelievable run, and we got top 3. If it wasn't for Bruno, we wouldn't have got 3rd. I'm just gonna be that's clear, because Bruno was very, very, very instrumental in us getting 3rd. So he saved Ole there, and he saved Ole again in this game against Everton. I mean, Ole, I think I do agree with Chris. I think it's just a matter of time before Ole is going to be sacked. It's going to happen. We're too inconsistent. We can't put a good run of games together where we go and just win, and not just win games, like win games convincingly. I mean, under Ole, man, it's been up and downs. I mean, and it's up down, and it's tiring. I'm really tired of. I'm tired of the up and downs. I'm too tired of it, man. It's is weakening. I can't keep doing this. I mean, the players somehow show
it's doing this.
No, it's killing me, man. It's killing me. It's hard. It's gone to the point now where I don't. I'm sorry to say this.
Break up with his,
it's gone to the point where I'm not looking forward to watching us play, because I'm like, I mean, it's gonna be the same thing all over again. We're gonna win a couple games, then we're gonna draw, and then we're gonna lose a couple of games, and then we're gonna start right back at it again. And the moment when his head's on the line, the players show up, they win, and then they save him for a few weeks again, and then it happens all over again. I'm tired. But and you know, the thing about it is that this board that we have are not football people. They will wait till it's mathematically impossible for us not to make top four before they sack him. So more likely, when he gets sacked, it's probably a situation where it's going to be hard to make top four. And that's what is, and that's the way they do it most times. So it's just really sad, man. It's just really sad. I like Ole as a guy. I mean, he was a legend of the club. He still is a legend in the club. But I mean, tactically, yes, he's got tactics, but not good enough. I mean, you can't tell me you have a team. And looking at the way the league is right now, the league is open.
Very open.
The league is wide open. We should be taking advantage of this league. Liverpool have lost Van Dijk. They've lost Trent Alexander-Arnold. They've lost Fabinho. They've lost Gomez. I mean, there's injuries. And, yeah, we've only lost Luke Shaw. We're still going to have more injuries. But it's just we should be taking advantage of this. And I just don't see and then another thing is that our home form is that we have 1 point in 12 games at home this season. That is sacking form. I don't care what you tell me. We have Man United. How the hell do we have 1 point from 12 points in the league this season? That is terrible. That is terrible. Look at our position in the league. I'm sorry, man. Every time I think about it, it really ticks me off, man. It kills me, man. But it's sad. So yeah, Ole is gonna be gone. Yeah, at some point he's gonna be gone. He's gonna lose his job. He's not gonna be a Man United manager forever.
We feel your pain.
It's terrible, man. So yeah, I guess it feels like I'm venting here, but I mean, yeah, it's just it's terrible. It's sick.
Okay. Let me bring in Mr. Pasha. Let me bring in Marcel. Marcel, following from Arsenal, Man United beating Everton 3-1.
Hey, before that though, just to let you know that Bams, we are here for you, man. That's what it's all about. You know, we're here as a support team. We're here for each other. Right? We just we'll get through this together. We'll get through this together. Right? Just got locked out.
Good job. Yeah. Appreciate you.
Yeah, so I hear Bams, man, because it's very painful, man. This is mid-table form. It's very painful what Bams is saying.
It's being recorded, so 6 months down the line, when our team is gonna do better, obviously we're gonna play this recording and listen to that.
And you know what? Let me just add to this. I know in our WhatsApp group we're trying to be positive, and guys are like, okay, it's all good. We're gonna go in this run, this win streak. We're gonna win games. I don't know how you guys see it. I don't know what you're seeing. I don't know which Man United you're watching, because the United that I've been watching for how many years? We've been inconsistent for years. So I don't know what hope you have that tells you that we're going to challenge for the league with a team that has been inconsistent since what's her name? Since David Beckham married the Spice Girl. Like I don't know what to say. Like I don't know what you're seeing. The team is. Yeah. Okay.
Let me tell you what we're seeing.
Before Victoria married.
Yeah, let me tell you what we are seeing. We are not saying Man United is going to win the league or challenge for the league. No, we can't do that. We don't have the ingredients to do that. That's the truth. You know.
Yeah.
It is what it is. We are where we are, and we have to make a lot of changes. That's the truth.
Yeah. But some people in the group feel that if we go on some win streak, we can be challenging. like
that's
how?
wishful thinking.
The fans are trying to be positive, and I get it. Marcel, jump.
Yeah, it's just trying to be positive, man. If Aston Villa could beat Liverpool 7-2, anything could be possible. People are just trying to be optimistic. Okay, you gotta read between the lines, Ben. You need to basically master in
I like your positivity. I like your positivity.
This isn't even about positivity. Like our field, the grass that we play on, is actually literally called the theater of dreams. If we can't dream of doing something this season with the season looking like this, like nobody else has the answers to. Wait, listen to me. We don't have the answers, but neither does City, neither does Liverpool. I mean, the only person, Tottenham might do something. Like the season is open, man. Like we've got the talent. We have got the talent. Yo, I'm telling you, this is why I wear the badge, man. Like, if I can't,
come on, man.
The day I stop believing,
let Marcel have
the day I stop believing in Manchester United's greatness is the day I stop following this.
Okay, Marcel, come in.
Yo, listen, all right. First of all, I know that everybody was talking about how Bruno this and Bruno that and everything. Luke Shaw played a great game, okay? Marcus Rashford played a great game. He was in a whole lot of space, creating a whole lot of confusion for a lot of people. So, I want to give, and even Anthony Martial with his first game back in the Premier League, finally, after that ridiculous suspension, he made it really possible so that Everton could not be on the attack because they had to always watch out for him, watch out for Rashford, opened up Bruno. Luke Shaw played very well going down the left-hand side, which we're going to see how well Telles plays going forward now that Luke Shaw is hurt. And what no one seems to talk about is when Ollie was talking about how can you have a team fly from Istanbul back to Everton on that limited amount of rest and expect them to be able to perform at their best. And he said it feels like people have an agenda against Man United in order for them to lose, which I would have blown off if Klopp wouldn't agree with him. Because Klopp said almost the exact same thing, and Pep agreed with him as well. So it just seems as though trying to get the scheduling right to give these teams more rest was an important thing that Ollie brought up. And the thing that was different about this game, not just Ollie's team, but this game is Ollie has been consistently very mild-tempered, win, lose, or draw with every game except this last one. We actually saw some fire in him behind the scheduling, and we actually saw some fire in him behind the wins and the losses. Now, I'm not saying that Ole is the next coming of Sir Alex Ferguson. He has to do a whole lot of cleaning out of the dead wood. We finally got Pereira out of here. Jesse Lingard is no longer playing.
Jesse Lingard's been injured. Jesse Lingard's been injured. He's been injured. That's why he hasn't been playing. But he's not just benched.
Last year, he only played one time. I mean, scored one goal.
Yeah, his form was bad last season, but Jesse Lingard has been injured. That's why he's not playing.
Yeah, but he doesn't start though. He doesn't start games. Jesse Lingard does not start.
Marcel, continue.
Yeah, true.
That's speaking of lack of depth we have on this squad. And because we have that lack of depth on this squad, we're going to have inconsistent results. Because you're not going to tell me that if we had Jadon Sancho in this squad this year, we'd probably be having this kind of discussion. Or any of the other number of targets that Ole had that the board did not back him up with. So if Ole gets sacked, the board set him up to fail, like it's been setting up Jose up for failure. Even though
Oh yeah. I totally agree with that, man. He didn't get any of his targets. Yeah, that's true.
Failure is 40% on Ale, 60% on the board because the board is not backing him up. And it's a shame that the board is backing him up because I see the potential in some of the games. I actually see the potential that we actually have, but I know it can't really come to fruition as long as the board is just like, well, we're not going to give you the top choice player you want. We're going to give you the third best player that you want, and you're still going to have issues and still have issues. And still have too many games you got to play. So with all of that being said and everything, it was still a really good win for the squad. It was great to see Cavani actually get his goal. And I really want to see what the team does going forward because it seems like after every break or outbreak or something, they go on this winning formula and everything. But I think it's something else that and I actually thought about this. It's like now teams have more film on us than they ever had before in their history. So now the Lampards of the world, the Peps of the world, the Klopps of the world, they look and say, oh, well, they did that. We can counter it with this. Oh, they did that. We can counter it with that. So, And because they are definitely more experienced when it comes to winning, they can really make it harder for Manchester United to win more games and everything like that. So if the board backed him up the way he needed, I don't think we would be even talking about Ole yet. I think we'd be talking about Ole challenging, but the board's not going to back him, which is a damn shame.
Okay. Thank you very much, Marcel. Kay, come in.
Right, yeah. So the game was a good game. And, you know, it's not a coincidence that it's a new record. You know, winning that game actually set a new record. It's the first time we've won 7 games in a row, 7 away games in a row in the league since 1993. So I just want to, I'm just going to steady the ship a little bit. Let's not get carried away. You know, it's not all doom and gloom. There's still a long way to go this season, guys. So let's just keep the faith up. Having said that, it does paper the cracks as well. You know, it's not a reflection on how the season's been so far. One thing I'll say is like I feel like I'm repeating myself again. Everton came out to play. That's why we won the game. You know, we were away from home, and it's no coincidence why we've won 7 games. You know, we've set that 7 away win record, and that's because we go away from home, we sit deep, and we hit teams on the counter attack. So yeah, it was a good win. Bruno was fantastic. Someone mentioned about Cavani scoring. Yeah, totally agree with that. It was a good, you know, it was great to see Cavani score. And funny enough, he's actually scored for Uruguay as well after that game. So hopefully he's getting his fitness up and he's getting his match fitness, especially going forward. I know some people will say, oh, United may not make top 4. That's what Chris said last season. United won't finish top 7. Ole will be sacked by December. What happened? Ole finished in the top 3. You know,
because of Bruno.
I mean, because of Bruno. There's always going to be because
there's going to be someone, man.
If we don't get Bruno, we don't finish top 4.
But wait a minute, it always has to be because of somebody that's on the pitch.
Wait. Let me ask you something. A lot of people were saying that without thinking about the January transfer window. The people just say the people don't think ahead. Oh, what if? What if we get? What if we get Sancho? Right? Wait. Let me finish. What if you get Sancho in January? What if you get people just think, oh, Ole's gonna get sacked? I'm gonna tell you guys.
You know what? The reason why we got Bruno in January is because McTominay was injured and Pogba was injured. If them two weren't injured, we wouldn't get Bruno. It's a fact.
There's always an excuse.
It's a fact.
It's like
it's a fact. It's a fact. Bruno, we had so many injuries in our midfield. If we didn't have those injuries in midfield, we're not getting Bruno. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, but that's true. But how do you know that United won't go out and buy someone in January and do the same thing? We've got to think ahead, guys. So let's not say, oh, top 4 is gone. I strongly believe United can still make top 4, 100%. Just like I said last season. So yeah, I don't think Ole will be sacked. I think he'll get to a point where he will run out his contract and we'll just shake hands and say, you know what, you've done well for us, or you haven't done well for us. Move on. I don't think he'll be sacked. The only reason, or the only time he'll get sacked is if results are catastrophic. Like, you know, if it's you know basically like a abysmal run of games where we're not winning any games. But as you've seen, as we've all seen, Ole has this thing where when his back's against the wall, he pulls out a win. And if he keeps doing that, I'm sorry, guys, sorry to bust your bubble, he would not be sacked. I'm telling you now.
This is the thing, though. How long can you continue doing that for?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He'll see out the 3-year contract. He'll see out the 3-year contract. Yeah, he'll see out the 3-year contract. We'll shake hands. You've done a good job. You haven't done so well. Goodbye. He won't get sacked. You saw the news this week that the board have come out and said they're 100%.
Man, they say that all the time.
Yeah, they say that
for Jose. They did that for Mourinho.
They say that.
They did that for Mourinho. Come on, man.
Yeah, no, Mourinho is not a United boy, is he? That's what he's done. Ole's a United boy. Wait, guys, listen. There's a pandemic, right? Do you think the board will really sack Ole to bring in pay him 25 million or whatever to bring in someone else in the pandemic? It's not going to happen. Ole is United true and true. He's not going to be sacked. The only time he'll be sacked is if the results are abysmal, you know, over a period of time. So let's Ollie's not the right man for us, 100%. He's not the right man to take us forward.
So let me ask you this question, right? If we don't make top 4, do we sack Ole?
Hey,
It depends. If we don't make
if we don't make top 4, we sack Ole.
Yeah, if we don't make top 4 and we win a trophy, he will still keep his job.
Right.
Yeah, if we win the FA Cup or League Cup, he'll keep his job. Yeah. So there's a lot of things that has to go wrong for Ollie to be sacked. So anyway, coming back to the game, it was a great performance, and this proves why Bruno should be running that number 10 position. We know there are other players that are in contention with that for that position, but Bruno has just proved with that game, not just with that game. I mean, over the course of his career at United, you know that that number 10 is his position, and so we just need to figure out how to break teams down. Once we figure that out, I think we'll be all right. And if we keep playing Fred was fantastic in that game. His breakup play, brilliant. He was fantastic. Yeah. You know, if Ollie doesn't change it, maybe we bring in someone like a Matic there to play alongside him, because our defense is so slow. We don't have fast defenders. We need 2 DMs, and that's another problem. You can't play one CDM with that centre back partnership. So you've got to play 2 CDMs and then just allow the other guy. It gives us that freedom. It allows the forwards to go and do their thing, because they know they've got that assurance there that, they've got cover behind them. So, my concern again is West Brom, because West Brom will do the same thing that every other team does at Old Trafford, sit back. So let's see. Great performance, but Ollie needs to sort out this inconsistency and, most importantly, sort out how to break teams down, teams that park the bus. Because Everton didn't park the bus. Everton came out to play.
Right, Bems, follow on from what he was saying. You wanted to say something. Go on, Bems. Make it quick.
Well, okay. Well, I forgot what I was about to say, but I'm just gonna say this. You made some good points, but I think Ole, again, when it comes to my issue with Ole is just simply, my biggest one is simply tactics, right? Yeah. Because we know how to win games when we go away, because again, as you said, when we go away, teams come at us because they want to beat us. Yeah, and we sit back. Yeah. But when we're at home, again, I'm going to repeat this. At home, we have 1 point from 12.
Exactly, and that's the reason.
1 point from 12.
We can't break teams down. Yeah, that's what it is.
If that continues, I don't see how he keeps his job. I don't see how.
You're right, but I can't see it continuing, though. That's the thing. I think he'll find a way. I can't see it continuing.
I can still see it continue because, okay, you have Pogba, you have Van der Beek, you have Bruno. Again, the way he sets up his team, right? Like, he says, he made the statement during one of his press conferences. He said, okay, Pogba's not been completely fit, but you're still picking him. Van der Beek is fit sitting on your bench. The guy hasn't really played enough, a lot of football since March. The guy is completely fit. Every time he plays on the pitch, he has good ball control, good spatial awareness.
I agree with you.
Good, solid player. Yeah, why isn't he playing Van der Beek? I agree.
Understand. Yeah, he should. Van der Beek should be playing, definitely, 100%.
Van der Beek. So Van der Beek to be playing. Another thing is he keeps chopping and changing the format, the plays on the team.
He doesn't know his first team. He does not know his first team. It's worrying. After 2 years, games, he does not know his.
After 100 games, you still don't know your first game.
I know.
All those things add up. It's adding up. I do get that he didn't get one of his first targets, any of his first targets this past summer. I do get that. But regardless of you didn't get in your targets, you have a team. In my opinion,
that team's good enough.
That team is good enough to make top 4.
Enough, definitely.
That team is good enough to make top 4.
Can I just come in there as well? People keep talking about, he hasn't been able to acquire the players he wants. In the last 3 transfer windows, Ole's net spent has been the most out of any coach in Europe. What's his excuse? It's unacceptable. He has the quality there. You're telling me the squad that Manchester United have, they're not even challenging for the top 4.
Exactly. He's got the quality to challenge. Yeah, he's got the quality to challenge for top 4. Yeah,
It's not good enough.
exactly.
So
It's not good.
Is it
But
the quality or is it the selection? Where's the problem? Dr. J, is it the quality of the field or is it practice with the players on the field?
I think it's both.
Wow.
I think it's both. It's a mixture. You know, I think I'll agree with, what's your man's name? Was it Joe who was talking now earlier? Bems, yeah. So I think Ole is going to keep his job. That's the truth. He is, because except he has a really bad run of results, I don't see him going.
He won't be sacked. Definitely not.
No.
Because if you think about it, guys, if you sack Ole now, you're going back to square one. Okay. You're going to bring in a manager that'll go, I don't like Maguire, 80 million, get out. I don't like Lindelof's too slow. Sure, you're fat. Who else? Rashford. Martial doesn't score enough goals. Pogba, go. Okay, I need 200 million to buy X, Y, and Z. You know, they can't do it. You know, so that's the problem.
I agree with that. I totally agree with it. I totally agree with you. I do want Ole to work. I would want nothing more than Ole to get us playing well, is in tactics right. We can break teams down. That's what I would love, because I don't want to go back to square one. Trust me, I don't want to. But when I'm seeing this team on paper, when I see this team, I'm like, are you kidding me? This team, I mean, it's terrible. So that's where I'm coming from.
Okay.
Yeah. I think, sorry, quick one, guys. I think the plan is for Ole to, because let's face it, he's done some good things off the pitch in terms of getting rid of some shambolic players like Fellaini, all these players there, you know, some atrocious players we've got in the squad. He's managed to get rid of them. I think what's going to happen is Ole is setting up the ship for someone like a Pochettino, to come in after his contract runs out, to come in and then carry on that progression. Because I think Pochettino is the right guy to come in and continue rather than going back to square one. I don't think Pochettino is the guy will come in and then say, you know, I want to get rid of all these players. Right. Pochettino would improve us, so we'll see that progression going forward.
But Pochettino is about to go off the market pretty soon, man. Okay. If we don't make a decision in the next couple months, Pochettino's going to be gone.
I think there's an agreement in place. I think there just might be an agreement in place for him to just hang around and take the job after Ole. Yeah.
But you mean after his contract is over?
2 years.
Hold on, Ben.
Yeah, Ole's got 2 years. Ole's contract
2 years left
out.
On his contract.
Yeah.
Okay, so then what's Poch gonna be doing till then? He's gonna be chilling.
Well, he's still on holiday, isn't he? He's having a good time.
he's not gonna wait around for 2 years.
He's not gonna wait around.
He's not gonna wait
around.
Hold on, guys.
It has to be in the new year.
Hold on.
Well, we'll see.
Bimal, do you think it's Ole's tactics or is it the quality on the field that are not performing, or is it him not using the quality he has on the field?
I think it's all of the above. It's Ole's lack of tactics. There's no real style of play that we've got apart from just the basic counterattack. I don't think he motivates the players enough. I don't think he creates enough desire in them to really play for the badge, to play for the shirt. I don't think his coaching team are good enough, apart from Fergie's right-hand man. What was his name again?
Phelan.
Apart from him, I don't think there's anyone really that great in that coaching team. We don't really have a good defensive coach. We don't. Our penetration in the final third isn't good. The only way we can really control a game is through midfield, and that's through Bruno. You know, he's a catalyst for us. Yeah. So our penetration is poor. Our defense is poor. We've got the best goalkeeper in the world, who's had a few shortcomings now and then, but I think everything revolves around Ole. You know, the desire's got to come from him, the hunger's got to come from him, the strategy, the tactics, and it's just not there. You just can't see it. There's no consistency. So, and also our work rate isn't there as well, because they've been looking at the stats for our work rate, and we've got pretty low, mileage covered by a team. But when they looked at Poch's teams, wherever he went, he was in the number 1 or number 2 position in terms of work rate for the entire team. So, I think Poch is our answer. unfortunately. But
yeah, he is. He is.
yeah,
Yeah, Poch's the answer.
We all know that
Poch is the answer.
the board are not going to fire Ole at the moment because, like I said, what Ben said and what Kay said, it's not till say we have a run of 7 bad games in a row. I mean, Champions League, EPL, back to back to back. Then they might you've got to go. But as it is, whereby win 3, draw 1, lose 2, they're still like, okay, he's getting there. Okay, little problem here. So they're just papering over the cracks, just gradually going, whereby just like getting by. So like Vimal said, honestly, there is no, can any of us honestly say, we look at Ole's team and say, this is the way United play? Because there isn't any style. I mean, there's no, apart from counter-attack, what else? When teams sit back, we can't break them down. It's so simple. Even teams like Derby, when they defend in the Carabao Cup, we struggle to break them down. And this is not good enough. We are currently 14th. This season, I honestly believe this season is the best time United will have to actually win a title. I'm telling you, because this season is so open. You got Leeds, you got Aston Villa, you got Leicester City. Man City and Liverpool are struggling with injuries and inconsistencies. But where's Man United? Nowhere to be found. Look at Spurs. Watch Spurs carefully. Because what Jose is going to do is grind out those 2-1, 1-0 results and just keep grinding in the results. He can win the title. But United should not be so far back. Okay, we've got a game in hand. A game in hand doesn't guarantee anything. Nothing. The points you have in bag are at least you've got them. The points you don't have, you can't count them. Look at our consistency. Istanbul, that was poor. Okay, we beat Everton. West Brom is next week. I don't know what to expect. I don't know.
Yeah, this is the problem. Yeah,
we can't say. I'm not comparing Fergie and Ole. I'm not comparing it. The season we won the title, the second to last title we won. Out of 19 home games, United won 18 and drew 1. If you can't win your home games, you can't just keep relying on away games. You have to win your home games. Out of 12 points, we've only got 4 out of 12. In fact,
is it 4 or is it 1?
1 out of 12. That's not good enough. In Champions League, okay, we've got 9 points available. We've only got 6. We lost to Istanbul. It's the up, down, and like I said, Bems, I feel your pain. We all feel your pain. Globally, United fans, because this season, 2020, any team can win the EPL. The margins, the gaps are not a lot. They're all small, 2 points, 3 points, 4 points, 3 points. But United are not there. They're not even in the top 5. That's my worry. Can United go on a 10-game run? I can't see it. I can't.
But sorry, Tim, we've got a game in hand. I'm not trying to defend all you anything. All I'm saying is we've got a game in hand. If we win that game, we're only 6 points off the number 1 spot. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So things can change very quickly. Things can change very, very quickly. If Oli can stick, you see the team that played against Everton, if he can stick with that midfield, Fred and McTominay or Matic in that DM, and just play that formation going forward, and just give it 5 games. Because I think we have protection, because our defense is so slow that when teams sit back, we get frustrated and we attack them, we leave spaces behind. We saw Crystal Palace, typical example. Oh, we need to win. It's a home game. Oh, we're 1-0 down. We need to score. Counter-attack, boom, 2-1, 3-1. You see what I'm saying? So if we can try and get some sort of consistent, we're not asking for 10-game win, consecutive wins. Just win. Just win 3 games. If we win 3 games in a row, trust me, we'll be in the top 4. That's how easy it is. So yeah, I think we still got a chance, guys. Yeah, let's be hopeful. I know it doesn't look it.
So, okay, I'm going to ask you one by one. What's your prediction? I'm going to start with Ben. Man United, West Brom next week. What's your prediction?
My prediction is 2-1 loss. West Brom wins that game.
Okay.
Ooh.
Chris.
Wow.
We're gonna lose again.
Chris, Man United, West Brom.
I think West Brom will win 1-0.
God damn.
Ooh.
You guys.
Yeah, okay. To me, Man United is so unpredictable right now. you don't know what players are gonna turn up on the pitch, what tactics are gonna be displayed on that day. Everything's just wishy-washy at the moment with Man United. You don't know what's going on. I can't rely on them at all. There's a game where we do on here. It's a Predictor League. Every time I put Man United to win, they seem to lose.
You tell me.
So I'm gonna go for West Brom loss. Okay. I can't. Yeah, I'm gonna go for West Brom loss.
Dr. J. Man
United beats West Brom.
Okay.
We win the game. Simple.
Vimal.
West Brom, I think they've had some good form, haven't they, recently?
Yeah, they have.
Yeah. Okay, so I reckon they're going to score the first goal. Then that's going to speed up our play. We're going to start to panic a little bit. We'll get that second goal, and we may just edge it. I think we may just get that second goal as well. That third goal, sorry. So 2-1.
Okay.
So I think we'll edge it, but I think we're going to be on the ropes with West Brom.
Okay. Is Kay there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I think it's going to be a win for United. I don't think it'll be easy. I don't think it'll be straightforward, but I think we'll just edge it. Yeah, probably go 2-0 United.
Okay, 2-0 United. Joe, is Joe still with us?
Yeah, I'm still here. It's gonna be 3-0 United.
Okay. That's complete opposite of what.
Man, I like Joe's optimism, man. I like.
You got to, man. Somebody's got to do it.
I'm with Joe. We're gonna beat West Brom, guys. We're gonna beat West Brom.
I think we will. I think we will sneak it. I'm thinking 2-1 or 3-2. I think we'll get 3 points. If United starts that home game, it will open up the thing is, I think Ole needs to instill in them that they need to know who they really are. I don't think the players really know who they are. When I say that, I mean they need to know they are Man United. They need to put the fear factor back into teams because there's none. You see what I mean? There's no fear factor. And that has gone a long time. Okay, people are quickly saying, let's quickly go this. United are saying Ronaldo's coming to the club. What's your take on Ronaldo? Vimal, quickly go on with that. Ronaldo coming back, yes or no?
It's the same story every year. I just think it's just a bit of media hype. It's not going to happen.
Oh, man, nice one, Vimal. Nice one.
Would
you take it back?
Ronaldo?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Depends on his wages. I mean, he's still a good player, but I don't think he's worth $500,000 a week.
Okay, cool. Benz, Ronaldo back? Yes or no?
I'll take him back anytime, any day, man. That guy's still a quality player. He's still top. The way he takes care of his body is. I know he's 35, but I think he still has. I think he has a body of a 30-year-old. If you ask me, the only thing I do agree with Vimal on that. His wages. The only thing is he's going to be really expensive on wages. But that's the only thing. But you bring Ronaldo to that team, you bring instant. I mean, that guy's a leader. He's a complete leader. He's going to lead that team. He's going to provide a pretty big boost to that team. But the only thing is if it's ever going to. I don't think it's going to happen though.
It would also damage our wage structure again, like we had the same problem we had with Sanchez. All the other players are going to start asking for massive pay rises.
Exactly, yeah.
With that pay, we'll see. If let's say hypothetically he comes and Ronaldo's on 500,000. None of them there currently deserve 300, so they shouldn't even think about it. They shouldn't even.
The only thing, Tim, The only thing, just thinking about it, I think you guys have a point there, is that Ronaldo is a star. He's on a different level compared to any other player on that team.
Completely.
So even though we're going to be breaking the wage structure, but you have a star that has proven himself in that team before all those players before any of those players came to play in that team, except for I think De Gea was there when. Was De Gea there?
He left.
Okay, so Ronaldo's played in that team before any of those players. He's a legend of the club. He's proven himself elsewhere, and he's coming back. I think the players should understand that this guy is a star. We just can't touch him. Even if he's on 500K a week,
yeah,
they should respect that. They should respect it because he's done this for this club, and they can't fight back on that, man. He's a star.
Dr. J, I know you said that something during the week that no, you're not Ronaldo comeback. What's your take?
Well, he's still a very good player, to be honest. It's just I'm just being sentimental when I say he's coming to us. He's coming back to us in the twilight of his career. Ronaldo, any day in any team, even today, it's a welcome. It's a positive thing, to be honest.
Okay, Joe.
Hey, I love Ronaldo just like the rest of us, but the thing is for that wage structure, I mean, I better not be hearing anybody that's talking about bringing Ronaldo in that was against bringing in Sancho because of he would have been too expensive.
No, Sancho wasn't going to ask for that much, though. Sancho was only asking for 200. Sancho wasn't asking for more than 200.
Yeah. No. If that's the case, that's all fine and dandy. But no, Ronaldo is in his twilight, and I believe it would be a waste of Cavani because I believe Cavani was brought in to do what you're saying Ronaldo would do at United. Somebody that is a high class motivator in the locker room, somebody that's that has quality that the rest of the team can feed off of. So bringing in Ronaldo would render Cavani absolutely pointless, right? So, and it would be too much money. And I don't think the pace of the Premier League, I don't think Ronaldo, no. I think it's too late for that now. Let's look more into the future and get in more youth players. I'd rather go for Mbappe than go for Ronaldo, right? If we're going to be spending that kind of money, let's do it for younger players.
Okay, thank you. Chris. Is Chris there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
Ronaldo
coming back, yes or no?
What does? No, it's not going to happen. Is this a story from the Sun?
Oh man.
No, it's not going to happen, man. It's a romantic story, but realistically, this is the real world, isn't it? It's not going to happen, man. Even in Man United's dreams, it's not going to happen.
You can't see it. If it does happen, would you be welcome for it?
Yeah, I'd welcome him, but the problem is he wouldn't want to work under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I don't believe Solskjaer would know how to handle such a player because he's already having problems with certain individuals within the squad. So I think that Ronaldo would pocket Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and he'll do whatever he wants to do if he was there at Manchester United. I believe that he would only come under a different coach. I can't see him coming under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but the whole story itself, nah, this is fantasy stuff for me.
Oh, well, dreams are free. You know that, right?
Yeah, but again, kids can always dream, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen. Though,
oh, yeah. Okay. Ronaldo, yes or no?
It's a no from me. I can't see that one happening. I think it's just tabloids. But I'll have to disagree with Chris on the point that Oli won't know how to manage him because I think Oli was a professional at Manchester United, and Ronaldo will see him as such, as a United legend, as it were. So I don't think Ronaldo, knowing Ronaldo, his history and his professionalism and all the way he's handled himself over the years, I don't think he's one of those players that will go against what the manager is saying. And Oli's not that type of person to go against someone as experienced as Ronaldo. So I think they'll work well together, just like we're seeing with Cavani. He's got a great relationship with Cavani as well. So I think it's a big if, but I don't think that if will happen. So yeah, it's a no for me.
Well, guys, we've come to the end of the show. Thank you very much, UK, USA. It was an absolute pleasure talking to you guys today. We've covered all the fixtures United, inconsistency. But what we've come to realize is Ole is not the greatest coach. His tactics sometimes doesn't work against teams who sit back. He's predictable. The team is predictable in reference to counter-attacking football. There's still a lot of work to be done with United. It's going to be a seesaw season. This is an opportunity for United. But from what we see, we just cannot see United taking this opportunity. I would love United to win the title this season. I don't even mind if they don't win next 2 years. But if they could win it this 2020, it would be one of the greatest escapes. But I can't see it because of we lose, win, lose, win. We just can't put a run together. But I know it's early days, but you have to build your foundation to make your future.
Consistency is not there. Yeah.
So that is why I'm still Ole in, but sometimes I don't know what to expect, what this team can deliver. You lose to Istanbul, you beat Everton. You beat RB Leipzig, you lose to Arsenal. It's like, really? so you all understand why United fans are so, more fans are more Ole out when we lose a game than, okay, we go quiet when we win a game. But
that's true.
The Ole out is still there. It's not going anywhere. Till we win at least a trophy, have some consistency, have a pattern, like Bimal said, a style of play. We have no style. Sometimes it looks like the players are like doing their best, using their individual skills to make it work. Sometimes,
freestyling, yeah. Freestyle.
It hurts. So that's where we are. Our next game next Saturday is West Brom. West Brom, on paper, 3 points. But with United, they make an easy game so difficult. And that's where we are today. So we are in 14th position. Game in hand. Can we win the game in hand? I know it's against Burnley. But Burnley, who are like third to the bottom, will go play Burnley and mess around.
No, we'll win because it's away from home. They'll come and attack
points,
us.
Team.
We'll hit them on the break and beat them.
We have the highest points away from home.
Yeah.
Followed by Tottenham.
We can't rely on away games. What's happened to okay, we have no crowds. What happened to your fortress, your bread and butter home games? What happened? We can't win home. What's the problem?
You gotta ask Ole that question.
There's no Red Army. It's a fortress without an army.
No fans, team. No fans, team.
Yeah, Ole brought up a question.
So we're blaming it on fans now?
Well, Dr. J,
we have to blame it on something.
All the teams have no fans. Why are United like fans? Other teams have no fans?
That's right. That's true.
Exactly.
Yeah. Team, you're very right. Well, we're just making excuses, to be honest.
Exactly.
It's a problem. It's a problem.
More like they missed the money. I think they missed the money more than they missed the fans.
It's all on Ole, man. It's all on Ole. I'm telling you, it starts from the manager. 100%. The manager sets the team up. The manager sets the tactics up. And if the manager, if we can't win games at home, it's only because of the manager. We've all said this. We go away because, we go away and we win those games because we sit back because teams come at us. That's what is expected for you to do. When you're at home, you go at teams to win. You go at teams to win teams. His tactics are not good enough to break teams down.
That's why he's getting exposed, because he can't play like that at home. You can't sit back at home and then try and nick and go. The club would not accept that. That's why we're struggling. Yeah.
It's all on Ole.
Give me 60 seconds, your roundup. Vimal, round up your whole United. Just summarize United, 60 seconds. Let's go.
Summarize what, this season?
What you think United should do, where they need to go?
We need to make that fortress again. We need to get the players playing at 100% capacity, effort all the time, every single game, and it's got to come from the manager. So if Ole doesn't do it, then someone else has to do it.
Okay. Thanks, Vimal. Vimal representing UK. Thank you very much, brother. Dr. J, 60 seconds. Tell me United's, where are United? What should they go? What should they do? What's next for United?
I think it's not just the coach's problem. I think the players have to stand up. They have to step up. They have to get stuck in as well. Sometimes the coach may not have the tactics right. But you think of your reputation. You put your hats on the sleeve. Leave your hats on the field. Fight.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You can't just blame the manager for every match you lose.
That's
Sometimes
true.
the players, you take the bull by the horn and try and give your 110% in every game. And somebody said it here. It's not that we lose games that annoys me. It's the manner in which we lose the games. It's the manner. There's no fight. It's an I don't care attitude. All the players look like they're going to have a haircut in a barber shop, strolling around the field. I mean, they have to step up sometimes.
I agree. Thank you, Dr. Bams, summarize 60 seconds. What's your take? Where United need to go? What's up?
Yeah, I do agree that the players should take some of the blame. I do totally agree on that one. It's the players should take some of the blame, but again, it all starts from the manager. The manager sets up the formation. He picks the team. He sets the tactics. His tactics are not good enough to break teams down, obviously, and we have the players to be able to do so. I mean, going forward, I mean, let's just see what happens. Let's hope we win. Let's hope we can win more games. We keep winning. But at the end of the day, I mean, I don't want Ole to go just because we're gonna start from zero. I don't want to start from zero again. But the way it's going is looking like that's gonna happen at some point. But I'm just gonna be positive as much as I can. And again, don't forget, this is the board. They are the biggest problem in this club. Until they leave this club, I don't think we're gonna win a title on this current
agreed. Yeah, that's correct.
Board ownership.
That's
it's
correct,
not gonna happen. So it starts from them. It really starts from them until they start backing the manager completely. If you notice, every manager we've had, the first year they come, the first summer they have, they buy them the players that they want.
Yeah,
right.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next summer they don't.
Zero. It
happens every single manager we've had, and it's happening to Ole now. So it's I think it's the beginning of the end for Ole. It's just sad that he's gonna be throwing the bus just like every other manager. But it all starts from the board, man. The board is the biggest problem in this club. And until they go, it's gonna keep going this way.
All right. Thank you very much, Bams. Representing the Houston Red Army. Chris, your take. Summarize us. 60 seconds.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with Bams on the board. Definitely, because it's been really. I don't know what these guys are doing up there, but it doesn't seem as if there's any sense of leadership and direction in terms of future planning for the club. And I also think another key thing is it's important that they have a director of football, because what's happening right now, everything's just mishy-mashy. Who decided on signing Maguire? Maguire, he positioning is awful. His pace is just a disaster. He has a big head. He doesn't even score headers. So what is the point of him?
That's true. That's true. He doesn't score enough headers. He should be scoring enough headers.
Again, there's nothing personal on him, but to me, it's just I just don't like the play. He's not good enough. But yeah, in terms of overall, my overview of Manchester United, I think that there has to be a plan in terms of what direction they're going to go in terms of choosing the next coach. Everybody's saying Pochettino. I'm a bit skeptical about him. The reason why I'm saying that because Manchester United right now, they need a coach who has experience, who can come in there and change everything straight away, and who's a winner. To me, I'm looking more towards Allegri. People might disagree with that, but Allegri will come in there and he'll ruffle feathers and he'll do the job, and he's a winner. He's proven, no doubt about that. But we're gonna see what happens. I'm personally, for me, everybody knows I'm Ole out. I'm not even gonna deny that I'm Ole out. He shouldn't be there. He's had over 100 games. Can anybody tell me 3 distinct things from his style of play? You wouldn't even be able. Yeah, we all know that he likes playing on the counter-attack. But apart from that, what else is there? There's nothing. He's been in charge for over 100 games. What has he done? He needs to go. He needs to go. His time is up. But again, I'm not going to just blame it all on Ole. The players do have to take some of the blame. But if you're looking at the club as a whole, the board, and then Ole. But we're going to see what happens further down the line, because at Manchester United right now, the whole structure is just, it's a complete shambles. To me, the whole club needs to be purged. That's my take.
Thank you very much, Chris, representing UK. Joe, Houston Red Army, 60 seconds round up for me. What's your take going forward?
Yeah, going forward, of course, we still need to work on our game. Definitely more work needs to be done on the training pitch structurally, so that we wouldn't have these swings left and right. But more than that, though, this is something that we need to see both on Ole and with the team. Mentally, the team just has to be together. It's a fundamental mental. You know, the ability to stay focused and push on, see the end of the games. Then we just don't have that confidence in that spread we used to have. That just like, you know, it's almost as if the fans are more cocky than the team. Don't get me wrong, they are a highly scrutinized team. They are a highly scrutinized team. But mentally, yeah, it's something that you've seen echoed in some of our past legends with Keane and push each other. So mentally, the team can get stronger. I think just mentally, the mental aspect of this game can do things that can improve the team on a level that even bring that would equal bringing in Sancho, bringing in world class. Mentally, definitely, I think that's the key moving forward.
Thank you very much. Kate, round us up, 60 seconds. Whoever, please turn the meeting down a bit, please. Thank you. Okay.
That was some nice music, though, man. That's a nice.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So I mean, I can feel for people that are early out, I can see why they're saying that. For people that are early in, I can also see why they're saying that. It's a precarious situation that we're in. But what I would say is, United traditionally, if you look at even when Fergie was there, we don't start well the season well, and we also need to be aware that we haven't had a pre-season. I know these are all excuses, but it has to be said. We didn't have a pre-season. We finished that semi-final. We went straight to starting the league. Crystal Palace were fitter than us. You can tell, you know, they were fit. I think they played about 2-3 games before that game anyway, but that doesn't explain why we've only got 1 point out of 12 anyway. But I'm just saying, it's a long season. It's a long, hard season, you know. So let's see what happens with West Brom. Don't get me wrong. If Oli doesn't beat West Brom, he's back on the trenches. That's it. Pressure is back on. It's true. Yeah, he's got to win that. There's no excuses. That's a definite 3-pointer. If he doesn't win that game, then he's back under pressure. So let's see what happens between now and December, and then we can say, okay, has he made any difference? But I think we'll slowly close. I'm not saying we're going to win the league. Top 4 will be a struggle. I don't think we're going to cruise into top 4, but I think we can make top 4. And if he makes top 4, and if only makes top 4 and wins the FA Cup, it's been an okay season. You know, that's still something good. I think that's what, let's be honest, guys, that's the best we can hope for this season. Top 4 and FA Cup. If we do that, then I think most genuine United fans will be happy. And then, yeah, let's look at, I don't think Allegri's, I'll have to disagree with Chris, because Allegri is another Mourinho, you know. So we need managers that will come in, someone like a Poch. That's why Poch is great, because he just carries on from where Oli leaves us. So I think to summarize this season, let's stay positive and let's hopefully get the consistency back. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, UK. I want to thank Vimal from UK. Thank you very much for joining us. Dr. J, UK. Thank you very much. Chris, UK. Thank you so much.
No
Kane,
problems.
UK,
No
thank
problems.
you very much. Joe from Houston Red Army. Thank you for representing Bems. Thank you very much, Bems. Sammy and Marcel had to go, and Shegun had to leave early. We thank you very much, guys. We'll do a part 3 coming in our next international break. We'll do a part 3 for UK and USA fans in reference to where United are. You guys have a nice weekend. God bless. Stay safe. Stay positive.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for having me. Cheers.
All right, man. Thanks, guys. Y'all be safe, man. Be safe.
All right. Easy.
Take care.
Bye now. Take care.